Baseball University of the Blue Ridge welcomes you to the Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series presented by CamWood Bats. We're live from Valdese, North Carolina on the campus of Jimmy C. Draughn High School for a Western Highlands 1A-2A conference matchup between the Mountain Heritage Cougars and the Draughn Wildcats.
Final game of the regular season.
And it's for the ship, back-to-back boats for the home team Wildcats on the line. And
I'll say Mountain Heritage had a good run last year too.
Sink that boat already.
Yeah, right. It's time to sink it. So on Tuesday, Mountain Heritage pulled out the win. Carter Bennett on the mound defeated Tate Jensen and the Draughn Wildcats in the thriller. Kason Jones with a big home run in that game that forced this championship game. So Draughn with the better record on the year, but when you look in conference, if these two losses are both to Mountain Heritage, then that's what gives Mountain Heritage the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I want to thank our broadcast sponsor, CamWood Bats, located in Haywood County, but serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more, all available for purchase at www.camwoodbats.com. And as part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through their website. Yeah, talking about sinking that boat. I was talking to one of the parents earlier, and they said it was last time Mountain Heritage won one of the at least a share was 2016. So going on, 9 years since Mountain Heritage has played for a conference championship. So looking to get back on there. Draughn, on the other hand, has back-to-back. 1 year they split with Madison, but they've won this Western Highlands ever since the last realignment. They've been dominating it. They received CVAC champs back in 2012. You can see that on their wall over here.
Saying realignment coming next year, Draughn will be leaving the Western Highlands and joining the Rutherford County and some of the foothill teams. Hendersonville and Polk will be joining that Western Highlands Conference.
There'll be some traveling.
Yep. But yeah, this is exciting. It's been a long week, so I got to try to muster up some energy here. So Monday we were at Christ School for a private school showdown between the lone two varsity squads at the private level in Western North Carolina. Tuesday, we drove all the way up to Hayesville to celebrate their senior night and look at their beautiful facility. Wednesday, picked up Smoky Mountain at Pisgah. Was very glad to see Smoky before the end of the year. Some weather and some cancellations had changed our schedule around. Thought we were going to miss them, but was able to get over to Pisgah, see Smoky on Pisgah's senior night. Pisgah won that 7-6. Thriller last night down in Asheville. Asheville upsetting TC Robertson 4-3, shaking up the MAC. I wanted to say, and I posted last night, that they're sharing. They were co-champions of the MAC, but it looks like there's still one game to be played, or maybe not played, between Asheville and AC Reynolds. So I'm not really sure who our MAC champion is. But anyway, we know we'll have a champion tonight, because everything's been played out where winner takes all. There are no splits, there are no ties, there will be no tiebreaker. This will just be a flat-out winner-takes-all championship here for the Western Highlands. Both teams will be making the playoffs. Mountain Heritage had a great run last year, furthest in school history. But before we get into all that and all the previews and meeting your coaches, let's get into our Meineke pregame show by introducing you to that sponsor.
Meineke is a pregame and postgame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridges Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. With numerous locations in the Western North Carolina region, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and serviced, whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires and wheels, AC, you name it. Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina. Yeah, the Cougars are, I don't know where I was going with that.
They're coming off their best postseason run ever last year, 2024. The record wasn't, it didn't stand out to you. They were 11-11 in season, 7-5 in the conference, but they went on a roll in the playoffs. They were the 23 seed, but they upset Piedmont Community Charter 7-0 in the first round. In the second round, they beat Hayesville 6-2 before they lost to Uwharrie Charter 15-5 in the third round. The Uwharrie, were they our the 1A champions last year?
Yeah, Uwharrie won, back-to-back 1A champs, I think?
So, again,
Mountain Heritage, up there again.
Mountain Heritage with a great run. They took their minty fresh Yancey County buses all the way down here to Burke County to face off against a team that, again, Hunter was saying they're coming off of a great back-to-back three, so they're going for the fourth in a row here.
Going for the fourth in a row.
So last year, 19-5, 11-1 in conference. They were knocked out in the third round by Cherryville 8-2 after they had beat Bessemer City and Swain in round 1 and 2. This year, 12-8, 10-1 in conference. They started off 0-4, but they had a really tough out of conference schedule. I think they played South Caldwell. They played some dogs. They ended up winning 12 of their next 14 after that. They were undefeated in the Western Highlands before this past week when they lost on Tuesday to Mountain Heritage. Here's the key stat, 7-2 at home. So even though they're on a 2-game losing streak technically because they lost to RS on Wednesday, they've been dominant at home. Now, Mountain Heritage this year, 9-10. If they win today, they'll be a 500 team, but 9-2 in conference. So it shows you out of conference, it's been tough, 0-8. But started off 0-4, then they started getting hot, swept Owens, swept Avery, swept Rosman, including a football score-esque 37-1. Lost to McDowell, had some tough losses to the bigger teams. McDowell, I think they lost to Mitchell, right? They split with Mitchell, split with Madison. So their 2 losses, aren't even a drone. So it shows you how tight those top 3-4 teams are. Coaches for your Mountain Heritage Cougars, fine young gentleman, Todd Reagan. Really enjoyed getting to know him the last couple of years. He was a graduate of Southern Guilford High School and actually started his coaching career under a good friend of ours, Coach Lineberger, down at South Point. Played his college ball at Mars Hill. When we did the Madison game up there at Mountain Heritage, Coach was bragging a little bit about him and Coach Tipton coming up together at Mars Hill before Tipton transferred to Montreat. Assistant coach, Michael Hamby, he's a Mountain Heritage grad. He played at Limestone. He's been really supportive of what we do here at Baseball University. He does a lot of independent scouting himself. So very good coaching staff over there. And for Draughn, Kenny Stevens, he's been here at Draughn for 9 years. This is his second year as the head coach. He was the pitching coach in those previous seasons. He pitched at Montreat, and before he came over to Draughn, he was an assistant over at East Burke High School for 6 seasons. Dugouts filled with a lot of good coaches. You got Coach Yates Jensen. He's coached at Draughn for 12 seasons as an assistant, has also taken on the head coach job in the past. You also have Coach Sean Yamber. It's his second season with Draughn. He was at Heritage Middle School before then. Coach played his college ball at Wilkes Community College before transferring to Mars Hill. Coach also runs a summer team called the Foothills Prospects. We like what they do in the summer. We support them. And then assistant coach Jacob Raby, we know him well because he will be coaching for Post 70 Asheville American Legion ball. It's his 3rd year at Draughn. He played his baseball at NC Central with Ryan Decker, who will also be coaching at Post 70. Ryan, a North Henderson name. And he's a young man. So I was going to say he's probably got a long coaching career ahead of him. Travel sponsors today. We only needed 2, and we appreciate both of these guys. Hunter's going to read them in right now.
Yeah, I want to thank our travel sponsor as well as our home team sponsor, Weicker Realtors Team Metro. They're helping Baseball University with travel expenses. We can count up the spring, including gas, food, and in some cases lodging, as well as being our home team sponsor, sponsoring the time that Baseball University puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and adding and posting highlights for the Draughn Wildcat prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches post-game. If you're looking to buy or sell a residential home, commercial property, or land, give Sean Yamber a call. Sean Yamber at Weicker Realtors Team Metro services Unifor and the surrounding counties in the Catawba Valley as an accredited buyer's representative, relocation specialist, and short sales foreclosure resource. He helps his clients through all kinds of transactions. In 2024, Sean was a multi-million-dollar producing agent that brokered many deals with his clients. Sean works with lenders that can help clients qualify for that dream home and makes the real estate deal easy. Stay local, buy local, invest local. Sean Amber is your trusted local real estate expert.
Now, before we get into our away team sponsor, I believe our away team sponsors got the game playing on television back up in Yancey County. So we want to thank our away team sponsor, Bubba's Good Eats.
Yeah, Bubba's Good Eats sponsoring the time that Baseball University puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and adding and posting highlights for the Mountain Heritage Cougar prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame. Vinny and Shane Miller are the new owners of Bubba's Good Eats. They're located at 394 East Main Street in Burnsville. Their business phone is 828-678-3388, and their cell phone is 828-284-3534. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And follow them on Facebook. You can get your online ordering done at bubbasgoodEats.quickmenu.com. That's quick, K-W-I-C-K, menu.com. They do dine-in, take-out, order online, or call us about your catering needs. We appreciate Bubba's Good Eats for being our away team sponsor this evening, and hopefully y'all listening in over at Bubba's have a good game to watch.
If Mountain Heritage can take this game, maybe they'll be driving home for a big old celebration meal. Might have to wait till tomorrow to eat it. Might be closed by the time they get home. But, again, we appreciate Bubba's Good Eats for stepping in and helping us once again with their sponsorship. Well, it's time to do the Where Are They Now section. For Mountain Heritage, sadly, it is none. So there are no current alumni out there playing baseball, but there will be one soon as Caden Carroll gets ready to go play for Southwest Virginia Community College and Coach McMillan next season. They're in the Region 10 Junior College Conference, very competitive. Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina junior colleges make up Region 10. Caden's worked really hard over the years. He's not afraid of the weight room. He's a two-way guy here for Mountain Heritage, and I know that Coach McMillan's excited to add him to the roster next year. And for Draughn, we got 3 guys going on to play at the next level. You have Griff Stevens, who's your starting pitcher tonight. He's going to go play at Young Harris College, beautiful area of Georgia that Hunter and I were lucky enough to drive through the other day.
Dad's a Young Harris alum back when it was JUCO, though.
Yep, Young Harris has produced a lot of good baseball players, including one of my favorites of all time, Nick Markakis. Tate Jensen, he is committed to App State, left-handed pitcher, very talented young man. Going to go be playing for Kermit Smith next year at App State. And then we have one football commit we want to add because we think he's a good athlete and is worthy of the mention, but it's Jacob Mull. He'll be a shortstop tonight, but he's going to be playing football for Gardner-Webb next season. Now, Mountain Heritage and Draughn both have a ton of underclass talent. For Draughn, Gage Dula, he'll be your catcher tonight. He's been hitting .385 in conference play. He's a 26. Nolan Ballard, sophomore pitcher outfielder, has been very solid in the outfield and been pretty strong in his limited time on the mound this year. Chase Yamber, infielder pitcher. He's the top 4 in the conference right now in runs scored, and he just does all the little things right for Draughn Wildcats. Caden Barker will be your first baseman. He's an excellent defensive glove over there. And Wyatt Benorden, hopefully I said that right. He's a freshman outfielder that's going to be getting some time this evening. He's a bit of a spark plug for Coach Stevens. For Mountain Heritage, one senior to mention, still hoping that he takes the chance on bets on himself and play some junior college baseball. It's Lane Chandler. He's your starting pitcher tonight, but also a very talented catcher. The lone senior we want to mention. 26 outfielder Kaysen Jones hit a home run on Tuesday off of Tate Jensen. He hit a home run against Rosman yesterday. Kaysen, a very good football player, is getting recruited on that side as well. 26 left-handed pitcher Carter Bennett is a big fan of him after that Madison game we covered. He will not be pitching today. He was spent on Tuesday throwing a gem, but he will be in the outfield being DH'd for. And CamWood Bat player of the game in that Madison Mountain Heritage game we covered earlier, Braden Deaton, will be playing second base tonight for Mountain Heritage. Very talented left-handed swinger. Blew up in that Madison game with 2 doubles and a single. Yeah, I was going to say, there's some good talent on these small school clubs. That's why we cover these games. Again, we were at Asheville last night to cover a huge 4A MAC matchup between T.C. Robertson and Asheville High School, but we feel there's just as much value in these small school games. There's gems hiding out here in Western North Carolina for you college coaches, and probably won't have a ton of live viewership from the college coaches tonight because it's game day. Game day is Friday for college ball. That's probably the most highlighted day of the week in the schedule for a college baseball player. But we're hoping that they tune in for the replay later and check in on some of this great talent. Well, power rankings were all sorts of shook up this week, especially with Asheville defeating TC. Yesterday we had Burnsville fall to Cherryville. Was that last week or earlier this week?
Burns.
Was it Cherryville that beat Burns this week, right? Or was it last week?
It was
this week.
It might have been this week. This week's been a long week.
It seems like 3 weeks. Crest finished out their season last night with a win versus North Gaston to wrap up the Big South. Still not sure how North Lincoln and North Iredell both won last night. So do they share the Western Foothills, or do they have a tiebreaker?
They'll probably play a tiebreaker game because North Davidson and Central Davidson had one at the 3A level. So we'll see what happens there.
Stuart Kramer plays Kings Mountain tonight. That'll shake up the Big South in the playoff rankings a bit. And Cherryville and Burns are going to show down this evening. I suppose the Southern Piedmont Conference must have a championship tournament as well, because Cherryville beat Highland Tech 2 days ago, or is that yesterday? Oh, like you were saying, all the days are just running together right now. But we will be putting out a new power rankings on Monday. Baseball will resume on Tuesday with the first round of the playoffs. We'll let you know if we're going to be on the schedule next week. We put an email out to the high school coaches last week, letting them know that we are available for playoff coverage, but we're going to need some help getting the sponsors together in the neighborhood if a school is going to want to have us come out and cover their game. Had our Poppy's Popcorn Player of the Week announcement earlier in the week. I think we announced it on Tuesday, but it's Malachi Dato. Had a great game with a shutout thrown against East Lincoln. He was also 4 for 9 at the plate with a home run and 5 ribbies. East Rutherford finished their season undefeated, 22-0 with a win over Polk yesterday. And we also, not taking away anything from Malachi, but learned yesterday, too, that Jay Sekretarski was picked as the National Player of the Week by PBR for his performance in last week's spring break tournament. I think he had 6 home runs in that spring break tournament, maybe 5 or 6. So just lots of talent popping out of Western North Carolina this week. So congratulations, Malachi. Coach Reynolds sent me your address earlier this week, so we'll be getting your popcorn and certificate in the mail very shortly. Malachi Dato, one of our better arms out here in Western North Carolina. Congratulations. And I think we're rolling right through it. We might actually have time to get through these Meineke Fleet keys to the game.
Yeah, what makes Meineke the smart choice for your fleet? Solutions to meet the needs of any fleet, including fleet leasing, self-managed rental agencies, and more. Meineke is proud to sponsor the Meineke Fleet keys to the game.
Our first key is one, you got to keep your emotions in check. Mountain Heritage, we've talked about this in the past. A lot of grit, a lot of fire, but with that, you can always be one step away from losing your head when things go wrong. So they're going to have to breathe tonight and keep their composure. Key number 2, with both these arms tonight, Stevens and Chandler, which my expectations from what I've seen in the past, probably low to mid 8s. So if they're in the zone, they have the stuff and the velo that can handle a small school lineup fairly easily. So if they're in the zone and they're not giving up free passes, I expect a pitcher's duel. And lastly, say it with me, small school ball needs to play small ball. Got to get the little things done, got to take the extra bases, get the bunts down. 1A, these are 2 of your most talented 1A teams, but in a smaller school, you have less depth, and so those role players have to do their jobs. It's senior night here for Draughn. You can see Coach Stevens over there getting ready with, some baseball buckets. Every school has their own way of celebrating their seniors.
Seen how many senior nights? We've seen
3 in a row.
Hayesville, we've seen Pisgah, we've seen Asheville. Now we're going to see Draughn, and stopped by North Henderson senior night last night after the Asheville game to see them and West Henderson finish out. That was a pivotal game for the Falcons to get into the playoffs, and it looks like they're going to be in.
Yep. Franklin, I believe, is in. I think the only team that's on the outside looking in right now is going to be East Henderson. Smoky has a game against East tonight. That's probably a must-win. If Smoky can take that game, they probably get in as well. Tuscola won the conference handedly. They did drop one game against East Henderson, which is ironic as they're the only team probably not in the playoffs for 3A or for the Mountain 7 3A. And other playoff implications out there this evening, again, that Kings Mountain Stuart Kramer game. Kings Mountain may have to win that one to sneak in. And trying to think of those. Patton and Hendersonville play again tonight, or did they finish up
I think
yesterday?
they finished up that series. Patton winning both, but I don't know.
No, Hendo won. I want to say on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think Patton has enough to get in because after last night's games were all tabulated on Max Preps, I had them on the outside looking in.
Did Chase and Brevard finish that game last night?
I don't think so. That's what I was wondering. So there's a lot going on within the Mountain Foothill 7, even though the top two for 2A have already been decided. And on the 1A side, Polk has secured their spot as a conference champ. However, they will not be seeded within the conference champs because they did not finish 3rd or 500 on the season. So
okay, here's an update from Will Lindsay. It is part 2. So at 5 p.m., the varsity will resume their game from last evening. It was called in the 2nd inning due to rain. The Blue Devils of Brevard were up 5-0 over Chase at that time. So Chase is going to have to come back from a 5-0 deficit, and I think that's must win for Chase right now too. What do you think? It might be must win for both.
It's a very interesting situation because who won the first game? Did Brevard win the first game? So Chase wins the first game of that series. So Brevard wins this game. They split, and it comes down to some tiebreaker to see who finishes higher in the conference. But
I was going to say because Polk is in because they're 1A, so they get that automatic bid. Patton's out. Chase and Brevard are probably fighting each other for one of those final spots.
If Brevard beats Chase might fall out, but then Brevard will not be able to qualify because Hendersonville has a 5-7 record in conference. Chase and Brevard would tie at 4-8 with the Brevard win. So then a Brevard win knocks Chase and Brevard out.
Interesting.
And Wheatmore gets in at that point. Yes, that's why I have a purple box next to Wheatmore.
Oh, boy. Well, it's going to be a busy weekend for Hunter. I know he's going to be calculating and tabulating just about everything.
Well, as for this conference, the Western Highlands 1A, 2A, Madison being one of the only 2As in the conference with Owen, they fit according to the tiebreaker on Max Preps. So it says they have the tiebreaker over Mitchell, even though they split with the Mountaineers this year. It looks like they will be seated in the top conference champ seeds within the 2A.
Now, with Murphy upsetting Hayesville last night and the 1A, does that bump Murphy in for sure?
It depends what happens around them, but it looks like they're sitting pretty.
Okay.
The last team, or the first team out in 1A, is still the 0-15 Bradford Prep. No idea how that's possible when you have a 6-win team right below them, but RPI is RPI.
Unbelievable. Well, I think with the conference realignment next year, it'll help a little bit. I actually like how they've switched things up. It probably actually makes the mountain conferences a little weaker as you take those East Rutherford RS Chase out of the Mountain Foothill 7. You take McDowell out of the MAC. We lose Patton. We lose Draughn. I think that's about it. So I like how some of those Iredell schools are getting out of the Mecklenburg conferences, and they'll be joining more of the Western North Carolina conferences. So we'll be covering some teams like Lake Norman, Mooresville, South Iredell next year. Again, 1A ball tonight, and it can be very, very competitive. We like small school baseball. Again, we're from Edneyville. In our neighborhood, we still talk about the 1982 state championship for the Edneyville Yellow Jackets.
Here's a tidbit about 1A ball.
Okay, go ahead.
Mountain Heritage wins the conference championship. They move up, currently seated at 26 in my latest projection. They would bump up all the way to the number 9 seed.
Wow.
But that's awesome. They lose, they're sitting around 26 to 28, and Draughn gets the number 7 seed where they currently sit. So a lot of implications on this line. Draughn will still get a home game if they lose. Mountain Heritage will not.
Right. Now, one thing I want to draw attention to is something Hunter and I were talking about yesterday on the drive home from TC, is how to build a winning program based on what your neighborhood offers, right? I point to East Rutherford. Now, East Rutherford, they're just so close-knit. Like, if there's a game and it's at home, you're going to not only get all the parents of the current players, but you're going to get all the alumni. You're going to get all the parents of the alumni. They just show up and they support everything, and they do a lot of community building. They play a lot of Legion ball to stay community driven, and that's why you got teams like Burns, East Rutherford that are so strong in these smaller neighborhoods. Whereas TC Asheville, their boosters, being a more affluent neighborhood, money is there, and a lot of times money makes trees fall. Facilities, travel, and again, I'm not knocking them for that. It's just, how do you make a good team? I think it's got to be a combination of both, because again, with East Rutherford, they have the McNair Foundation, who's that's the family of the owners of the Houston Texans. So money is coming in the neighborhood. There's got to be some sort of balance between community attention, community support, true community support, like lifting each other up, showing up, holding each other accountable. It takes a village type mentality, and then again, finding the money, right? And that's where we were up in Hayesville, where they have both. Hayesville, if you would have seen their facility, you would have thought you were at NC State or something. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful baseball facilities I've ever seen in a high school, at a high school level. So, hats off to Draughn, hats off to Mountain Heritage for finding ways to stay competitive, build community baseball. Hats off to AC and TC for being able to raise money and involve their community as well. But there's so many different ways to build a baseball program, but it takes persistence either way. Again, we shouted him out all week. We're going to shout him out one more time. Congratulations, Kyle Shaheen, if you're watching at home, buddy. Very proud of you on your commitment to Bob Jones University. You're going to be going to play for Coach Morrison, a great gentleman down there in Greensville. Bob Jones, it's a larger, small school, if that makes sense. About 6,000-7,000 enrollment. I think it's a good in-between from those that are looking for a big state school and, those who are more looking for your tiny, like 1,200, maybe Brevard-sized schools like 800. But Bob Jones, a lot to do in Greenville, great education, a little strict. It's a Christian school. They're going to have their rules, but Kyle's going to do a great job there. Left-handed swinger for Hayesville. Coach Seller's doing a great job up there, and we love that community, man. They invited us to break bread with them at their senior night, had us up to eat with them, treated us like family. The hospitality was amazing, and that's probably the best part of this whole Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series is the hospitality that Hunter and I receive at every stop along the way, except, well, I'm not going to say it. But
well, we rolled up here today, and Coach had already had a table set up, a power cord, didn't have to use a drop cord, so it's appreciative of him, getting us set and ready to go. And he actually told us, he said, well, we were thinking you could get up on top of the first base dugout and do it from up there.
That'd been awesome.
When we went up there to set our camera up, I don't know if we want to sit up there. We didn't bring a glove today to protect us from foul balls.
Line drives right to the face. Let's see. Yeah, it's been a great season. A lot of stops along the way. Been just about everywhere west of Charlotte. Been up to Watauga and Boone.
Been to so many new places that even though I was born and raised 25 years in Henderson County, West North Carolina, we only played the same 10 to 15 schools. So I had never gone to Heritage. I had never gone here to Draughn. I've never been to Mitchell. I've never been to Watauga. And so getting to see these places and these fields that I've seen pictures of and followed around, it's
probably the
Western
prettiest.
North Carolina baseball is very underrated on the national scale of high school baseball.
South Point was a beautiful stadium. South Caldwell was great hosts. Coach Parham won his 500th game last week.
Congratulations,
yep.
Coach.
So I was going to say we've been learning a lot of baseball history by visiting all these spots. Coach Little down at South Iredell is a great host. That's, again, I think as we get into branding Western North Carolina baseball, you can't brand it without drawing attention to the hospitality, the good family vibes, the neighborhood support. Everything that we're seeing here in the baseball community is that same characteristic, that same moral sustenance that we saw lift up Western North Carolina after Helene back in September. So again, this has been not only a celebration of the baseball in Western North Carolina, but a celebration of rebirth here in Western North Carolina, too, as we all get back on our feet. We're going to go ahead and quiet down as Coach Stevens and staff celebrate their seniors here at Draughn. We will be back in just a bit.
Senior winner recognizes Marshall Brinkley.
I'm going to run up to that.
He's escorted by Benton Carol Brinkley and his sister, Jenna Claire. His best baseball memory is the rainy slip and slide practice before we played Madison. Marshall's plans after high school and attend NC State University to pursue chemical engineering. That's awesome. I thank God. Marshall says, I thank God for the physical ability and the opportunity to join alongside friends to play the game of baseball. I also want to give thanks to the baseball team for bringing me in after such a short time, feeling like family, as well as all the laughs. Finally, a huge thank you to my mom and dad for showing up and supporting me nearly every game, being proud of me regardless of my performance. I'm so glad I decided to play baseball and only wish I had started sooner. Up next, we got Jacob Mull. Get it, Curly. He's escorted by his parents, his mom Stephanie, and his dad Brian, and his brother Corbin. Jacob's favorite baseball memory is hitting a go-ahead home run in extra innings against South Caldwell my freshman year. His plans after high school: attended Gardner-Webb University to play football and study business management. Jacob says, thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to play baseball and giving me the ability to play this great game. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always taking me to games, practices, and being there for every game, probably only missing a handful of games. I wouldn't be here without y'all. Thank you for the coaches. A few of you have been there since the beginning, and thank you for all the time and effort you have spent on me as a player and as a man. To my teammates, it's been a pleasure calling each of you my brothers and pushing me to become better. I am who I am today because of each and every one of y'all. Thank you. Up next, we got Tate Jensen. He's escorted by his parents, Tammy and Yates, and his grandmothers, Mary, I don't even want to attempt that name, and Jane Jensen. Tate says his best baseball memory is hitting back-to-back home runs with my brother on my dad's birthday. Tate's plans after school are to play baseball at Appalachian State University and study exercise science. Tate says, thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to play this game. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for doing everything they can for me to be the best person and player I can be. And thank Coach Stevens, Jensen, Ravy, and Yamber for pushing me to be the best every day. And last but certainly not least, Griffin Stevens. He's escorted by his parents, Kenny and Becca Stevens, and his sister, Parker. Griffin's favorite baseball memory is closing the game against South Caldwell in my first ever pitching appearance. His plans after high school are attending Young Harris College to play baseball and major in law and public policy. Griffin says, thank you to my family for all the time, love, and support that they have given me throughout my baseball journey, especially to my dad. I'm grateful for every practice, every lesson, and every moment we've shared. It's been an honor to be coached by you, and an even greater gift to be your son. Thank you to my teammates for always being with me and pushing me every day to improve. There's nobody else I'd rather call my brother. Thank you to Coach Jensen, Ravy, and Yammer for your guidance and belief in me. It has shaped me into the player I am today. Finally, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the opportunity to play this great game. Let's give these guys a hand.
That's power on everything. Like the
should be good. Keep an eye on 2.
Which one's that?
I'll keep an eye on them.
Well, here's your senior night.
Number 4.
A lot of emotions. And Hunter made a good point last night at that North Henderson game. A lot of times it ain't the seniors showing the emotions. It's the underclassmen that start crying because they know their homies are getting ready to leave. Like last night, it was the North guys leaving. There's a couple sophomores and juniors all teary-eyed.
Yeah, seniors were like, okay, until it finally hit them after they went back in the locker room for that final time and took their uniform off. Then it hit them. But I remember my senior night very well, and wasn't crazy emotional, just like, oh, I'd been around this field for so long. But then after is when it really hits you, especially when you don't make the playoffs. Now these guys, both these teams got another game left in them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, North Henderson, they may not have another home game unless they keep winning. But a lot of times a team that's in the bottom, like in the 20 through 30, they'll have to win out because they're not going to find anybody in the playoffs with a higher seed or lower seed, I should say. I'll be honest, I don't even remember my senior nights because it's probably that whole thing where it doesn't hit you until later. And I do remember graduation,
Well, I can tell you the nights that I remember, and it wasn't, don't get me wrong, high school baseball was a part of my life, and I was very emotional about it. But when you invest a lot of time into things like that, and you're 18, you don't know what it really is like. But then you get into something in college, and I didn't play sports in college, but I was a part of a student organization at the University of Georgia in college. And we, painted up for football games and worked at a lot of sporting events. So that final home football game, that one, our senior night, you feel that. And when you're a little bit older, you start to appreciate those games. Some of these kids, they'll appreciate it when they come back. Like you see, Coach Raby, Coach Decker, all these coaches who came back to their areas to coach these kids. You talk to them, they appreciate their time that they spend on these fields a lot more now than they did when they were 16, 17, and 18.
I think it's trying to prep them for transition, too, because that's just it's an adult theme for a lot of young kids out there listening. Like, when you become older, like, you have to learn to let things go, let certain periods of your life leave, step away from certain things. You outgrow certain things. Senior night's probably supposed to be one of those. Hopefully it hasn't been watered down by y'all's like 5th grade graduation, 7th grade graduation. That's one thing. We probably have too many of the participation trophy type situations. This isn't one of them. This is a real commitment. You gave your time up after school to practice. You gave your time up to get in the
gym. A lot
of
these kids, they spent 15 years playing baseball or more. Of organized ball.
T-ball starts when you're 4?
Yeah, organized ball starts when you're about 3-4 years old now. You're seeing it younger and younger where the first year is just, go play out on a team and learn how to play with other kids. But, real organized ball started about 6 years old. So anywhere from 12 to 15 years, these kids have been playing ball, especially in their neighborhoods with their teammates. So you see the Heritage Cougars over here all together. And earlier they were messing around behind the dugout in the shade while the JV game was going on, and they're talking to their nanas, and they all called this one lady Nana, and I know it wasn't a Nana of all of them, so it's like that's just how
Team
it is
Nana.
in these small towns. So
well, it looks like we're gonna have introductions here. Drone, it's gonna be a battery of Griff Stevens, the Griffinator on the bump. He's gonna be throwing to Gage Dula, his battery mate. Around the infield, it's gonna be Chase Yamber at third, Jacob Mull at short, and I got the last names here, but I want to do them justice by knowing their first names. Brinkley at second, that's Marshall Brinkley, senior. And at first base, it is Caden Barker. In the outfield, from left to right, you have Tyler Lang, the junior, Tate Jensen, the senior, and in right field, the sophomore Nolan Ballard. Batting lineup for your Mountain Heritage Cougars is going to be leading off as Caden Carroll. Will be playing shortstop. Braden Deaton will be up the middle with him at second. Kason Jones batting third in center field. Levi McCurry, the first baseman in the cleanup hole. Branson Fox batting fifth in left field. Liam McMahon at third base. Shooter Fox, younger brother of Branson, will be behind the plate, batting seventh. Lane Chandler, tonight's pitcher, batting eighth. And batting ninth will be Malachi Huskins, who's DHing for the right fielder, Carter Bennett. Umpires and coaches discussing the ground rules. Again, Coach Reagan, Coach Stevens. Say next year, we really have to go all in on trying to get a hat from each home team because I'm really digging on these emblems. I like drones, just the plain D. I like that. I'm a real simple guy. Like, I like just a simple logo, like a letter. I like the Cougars hats. I just like the colors, you know. Really want an RS hat. Really want a smoky hat. I like blue. Got plenty of North hats. Got plenty of Christ School hats. You know, I'm not sure if I'd be able to talk my way into any hats from Buncombe County. We'll see. So, might be time to address that for y'all listening. You might have noticed we didn't take a trip into Buncombe County except for yesterday. We went to Asheville Schools, so thank you to Coach Hillier for letting us come down. Asheville Schools, it's a separate school system from Buncombe. We want to go to Buncombe, but if y'all followed us last year, Buncombe is a different world. It's very expensive to broadcast a game there, and you know, ran into a few things with them last year. Want to get back in their neighborhood. So if you got any fans out there, North Buncombe, Enka, Irwin, Reynolds, TC, you know, we want to come and do games in your neighborhood, but you're going to have to talk to your school system and figure out an easier way for us to get there. Too many bumps in the road to get to Buncombe County right now. We love them, and we covered every Buncombe County team this year. It just had to be outside of the Buncombe County school system. So as part of your local government, you can make changes by getting involved.
You see how many other counties we went to? Yancey,
and that's
Mitchell, Henderson, Haywood,
and they welcomed you with open arms. They
Even
don't.
the new
They're like,
ones,
oh, put your money away. Here's
Burke
your drink. Here's your hot dog. And again, we're not trying to be spoiled, but we're here providing a service too. You know, we're here trying to help with the college recruiting, get the name out of these kids for free.
Well,
for
that's
them.
been one thing that we insist on, paying for concessions at all these places. And there's a handful of places that insist that we do not pay for concessions. And it's just like, hey, you've already given us what this is going back into the baseball program that will then help these kids. And some of the concession moms and the teachers who run a concession like, no, you're out here, you drove all this way, we'll give you a drink, but it's okay.
Yep.
And we appreciate it.
It's just that small town Western North Carolina vibe, and we love it.
We know these coaches very well. We have a good relationship with Coach Stevens,
and again,
Coach Amber, Coach Reagan, Coach Brady,
number 11, Marshall Brinkley.
And again, shout out to Hayesville, because I mean, we talked to Hayesville, and apparently they had a fee to do games in their county for football, but when we talked and sat down and they listened to us about our product, they immediately and willingly wiped all fees and said, nope, come on in, you're doing this free of charge. Because again, it just doesn't make sense to pay a county to help their players. It's time for that national anthem, folks, so we'll quiet down for a minute. Play ball.
Well, we're at an hour mark on a pregame show where we're on CBS, ESPN, Friday Night Baseball.
I said, running out of material. So I can just sit here and tell you about how bad my Baltimore Orioles are if you want.
Who the Braves got now?
Say the Orioles travel to, I think they're in Kansas City tonight. The Royals dominate the Orioles, though. So, again, I don't know if any West North Carolina fans out there care about my Orioles, but there was a time that they were the team of the South before the Braves came in.
Well, I want to thank our first end sponsor, Bloom Patch Farm. got some beautiful dahlia varieties we're going to show you on your screen. We appreciate Ms. Sumner and Blue Patch Farm for the support all season long. We really want to emphasize these 7 inning sponsors tonight for their continued support this entire year. I think we got in all 25.
It is, yep. 25 exactly.
Appreciate Miss Sumner and Blue Patch Farm for sponsoring the first day. Definitely go check them out until they're in full and then with the first.
Well, the Griffinator, Griff Stevens up there on the bump tonight. Griff's a solid two-way player. Had some good interest in his college recruiting process, but decided to go play for Coach Wagner down at Young Harris College. Young Harris, beautiful area of Georgia. Hunter's dad, John Street, was a Young Harris College graduate. Solid coaching staff up there. I think a lot of our West North Carolina kids need to get in with Young Harris. Now, you got to be good because, again, their 2024 season, they were 41-15 in Conference Carolina play. So, I mean, that's a solid staff that's run by Coach Wagner. Well, let's go ahead and get ready to start this ball game, and hopefully Coach or Griff Stevens can impress those Young Harris coaches who probably aren't able to watch tonight. It's college baseball day here in America. All your top colleges are playing baseball on Friday. So this game, if it'll be viewed by coaches, it'll probably be on the replay. Well, first pitch, a hit by pitch. So Caden Carroll heads down to first base. That's how we start out here in Valdese. All right, Braden Deaton, the batter now. He was our CamWood Bats player of the game way back when Mountain Heritage defeated Madison at home. So ball high. Long set of signs from Coach Reagan down there in the third base box. Carroll does have speed. Pickoff attempt here. Ooh. So a little Scooby-Doo there, getting his feet set, but was able to sneak back into the first base bag. So left-handed first baseman. I haven't seen a lot of them this year, but always easier to snap that tag down being a lefty. So Griff Stevens comes to the set, delivers. Oh, the runner was moving, but oh, wow. Ball's going to get past the first baseman on the throw there by Brinkley. It's going to allow Carroll to go to third and Deaton to move up to second. So with the runners in motion, it almost looked like that it was going to be a setup for a double play ball there as it bounced up the middle. But with Carroll getting to the bags quickly, Brinkley had to set his feet and try to get a quick throw over to first. Unfortunately, bounces it. Deaton's going to reach on an E4.
That bus, let's go.
Now, Kason Jones been swinging a very hot bat. 5 home runs on the year, I believe, for Jones. Maybe it's 5 or 6. Hit one against Rosman yesterday. Big, strong lefty, center fielder. Getting a lot of interest on the gridiron. Squares the bunt here, pulls back. Nice block up by Dula. So 2-base error there, gets Deaton the second, Carroll the third. First base is open. Barker up, playing the bunt. Same with the Amber. So if the Amber charges, though, he's got to be careful. Make sure Mole's there.
Stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Take up. Up and over. Up and over.
Say corner's probably going to crash hard with the second and third base runners. Quiet setup for Jones. Squares the bunt. Pulls back. So 2-0 count, trying to give himself up here.
2-1.
2-1, sorry. So trying to give himself up here. See if Stevens can fill the zone and Draughn can execute the bunt defense. Oh, safety squeeze, throws it home. And they say that Carroll is out at home. So safety squeeze does not work. It will be a fielder's choice for Jones.
Coming to play to the 10.
We are going to watch the replay. So 1-2 on the put out. So 1 out. First and third situation now. Watching the replay. Ooh, what do you think? We're going to watch it one more time. Does his foot slide in? He's trying to block that bag. One at a time here. Ooh, they missed the call. He was safe. Throw home. Safe at home. So the double steal allows Deaton to score. And you heard a parent behind us say it was a makeup call. I think he was safe at home there, but it was closer on this one. So definitely safe. Carroll was definitely safe on the first one. Throw beat him. Umpire made the call probably on the bang there. But here on the replay, he's safe either way. So probably should be 2-0, but 1-0 score here. Ball's going to bounce away. Duel is up quick to stop any advancement from Jones. It's not the worst call in the world.
Oh, no.
It's probably better now in the first inning if that was instead of a 7th inning call. If that was a 7th inning call, there might have been a riot. So Levi McCurry swinging a foul over into the Draughn dugout off the netting. So Jimmy C. Draughn High School? Is that the correct?
Yes, sir.
We didn't know who that was until Hunter looked it up. Apparently he was a prominent educator and principal in this area for years, past a number of years ago. So 1-2 count, 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. After doing 5 games, a little tongue-tied. Gage Duel working very hard here in the first inning for the Draughn Wildcats.
I'm looking at the replay again on the run that scores. I think
you know what?
Out.
Hold on.
It looks like his leg
because
is
he
up.
curled his knee back.
He curled his knee back.
Well,
and his
it is a
leg
makeup
never
call
touched,
officially,
so.
folks. And so
Well, 1 run scored. So
I was going to say the baseball guys made sure that everything turned out the way it was supposed to there. They just got it backwards. So the result
crazy.
is 1 run either way.
It's crazy to see this for like a high school game because most of the time you're not able to even look at it, but now you actually are. So
We'll see if the umpire comes back to
talk to us about
console with us after the inning. My guess is he won't.
Not with all these pans this close.
Swinging a drive to center field. In on it is Jensen. He'll make the play. Can of corn. That's going to bring Branson Fox up to the plate.
That was a great pitch, G.
Coming to the plate of the 2, Branson Fox.
Branson Fox, very professional young man. Always enjoyed talking to Branson. I believe his goal is to study anesthesiology in college. Get a little radar here on Griff. 79 on the gun there. Shooting the radar, Hunter, so let me know if I'm messing up any of the latency. Even though our pregame test of it at Asheville seemed to have no effect. So who knows where we get the latency from. Latency apparitions. So high 7s right now for Griff. I've had Griff 83, 84 in the past. Branson also a football player. He's part of that Mountain Heritage football team that made a great run to states this year. I believe they lost. And did Mountain Heritage lose in the state championship for football?
Regional finals.
Regional. Okay. So a chance here to escape an early jam. Nice curveball. That's strike 3. It ain't going to matter. So strike 3. Branson Fox goes down looking. And as we head to the bottom of the first, it'll be Stevens, Yamber, Jensen, and the Draughn half. First and sponsor, again, thank you, Bloom Patch Farms. They're located in Hendersonville, North Carolina. They offer 300 dahlia varieties for spring planting, and they provide floral design services as well. VIP cutting and floral tours are booked on weekends from March through October. Never been on a floral tour, never been on a VIP cutting, so I'm going to have to figure out what that's all about by looking up Bloom Patch Farm on their Instagram at Bloom Patch. You can also find them on Facebook. If you're interested in learning about Bloom Patch Farms, why don't you give Miss Sumner a call at 828-772-1798. Oh, why we got Hauling Solutions up there?
I clicked the wrong thing and didn't realize it, so we got Bloom Patch extended for a little bit.
Andrew Kasori got a free plug for a minute there.
Yeah, again, want to specify and preface how thankful we are to these 7-inning sponsors and our pregame, postgame sponsor for all the help this year. It's been a fun 25 games.
So I might have to take some time this weekend to call them all and thank them. And again, I hope they're checking in, but they're just as busy as we are. A lot of entrepreneurs on our list here. All 7 of these sponsors, including Meineke, which is our pre- and post-game sponsor, so maybe our 8 sponsors. They were the ones that allowed us to have the revenue early before the season even started to make the purchases of Starlink, to make the purchases of the 4 iPhone cameras, to make the purchases of the Switcher app, Canva, bungees, magnet grippers. It's just, we couldn't do this without them, and I hope that those businesses understand what their investment is leading to. This is very unique. There's nowhere else in the country right now that is trying to brand local baseball like Baseball University is for Western North Carolina. Well. 1-0 early. Western Highlands Conference Championship on the line. Mountain Heritage up 1-0. I know they're probably getting loud in Bubba's right now. Man, I could use some good old Bubba's, just American classic dining right now. Some burgers, maybe a good Reuben sandwich. I will say this. Went up to Drone's concession stand, bunt here by Stevens. Nice play by Chandler off the mound. Throws over to first. Pitchers are athletes. Nice play by Chandler. But went up to the concession stand and bought the biggest hot dog I've ever seen at a high school concession stand.
That looked like
holy moly! It looked like a bratwurst.
Looked like a Sanford Stadium glizzy.
Looked like something out of Oktoberfest. Chase Yamber, sophomore, playing third base tonight. We know Chase pretty well. Chase came down to our prospect filming at Cleveland Community College back in November. Wanted to get a baseline video, get an idea of where he's at as a young sophomore. So Yamber, along with some of these other underclassmen, have had to step up and fill some roles up by last year's seniors. Nice curveball by Chandler there.
Yeah, the Cougars playing for a home playoff game tonight. Drone has secured a home playoff game last year, playing all 3 of theirs right here in Valdese. There's a foul ball out.
Drone get a you were going over it earlier, but I can't remember. If they lose tonight, do they still get a home?
It appears I think they've secured their home playoff spot. Looking at the RPI rankings, they'll be anywhere from the number 8 seed to the number 12 seed.
So Mountain Heritage really playing for a home.
Mountain Heritage really playing for. They were on the road all 3 rounds last year at Piedmont, Hayesville, and Uwharrie Charter.
Say Lane Chandler is another member of that football team that went to the regional finals this year. Very good athlete. I believe he was a running back, fullback, and a linebacker. Swing. Yamber. Yes, he did. Right there in left center field. Base hit. So 1 out base runner for Chase Yamber. Come to the plate. Tate Jensen. Left-handed thrower, right-handed swinger. Tate going to be heading off to App State next year. Hunter and I were lucky enough to stop by Appalachian State's baseball field when we took a trip up for the Watauga-Ashe County game.
Appalachia.
I'm
throwing Appalachia.
Well,
you say Appalachia.
From Baltimore, Maryland. Kill me. I have offended many of people with some mispronunciations. Takes a curveball to the back. Jensen down to first base.
Coming to the plate, number 23, Jacob Moore.
Iredell learned how to say that correctly this year. Appalachian.
Appalachian. If you say Appalachia, I'll throw an apple at you.
Well, you do know when you get up towards Pennsylvania, it switches, right?
Okay,
they call it Appalachia.
Okay, they're just wrong then.
More of the Allegheny Mountains up there, but if you are from the north, Appalachian is where it changes in pronunciation. So.
Whoa. Wake up,
Holy moly. Jacob Mole headhunting in his own dugout. Everybody looks all right down there. Jacob going to play foosball at Gardner-Webb next year. On the gridiron, Lane Chandler trying to pick a second. Yamber's back safely. So again, Yamber at second, Jensen at first. Gage Dula on deck right now. Mole with another foul ball off the right side. Coach out with a fresh handful of baseballs for the umpire. They aren't A1030s though. What game was that? Chase versus Polk, where they had to switch out all the baseballs after the first pitch.
Never seen that before.
Say Jacob Mole, big body. Say not your prototypical shortstop body, but he's going to handle it tonight. Strong, stocky football player. A lot of pop in that bat, too. Swing and a miss. Nice location with that fastball. Ran him up on the hands. So 2 outs now.
Coming to the plate, number 9, Gage Dula.
So Lane Chandler, very talented catcher. Throws his pop times are on a fish line, man, like a fishing line, like straight and arrow. Talented arm. He's got a hit tool, but he's had kind of a sloppy, I won't say a sloppy year, but just an inconsistent year at the plate. He's got to get more consistency. Plenty of talent, blessed athlete, hoping that he considers college baseball, specifically junior college baseball. I know the place I want him to go, and I know the coach there wants him too, but every kid's got to make his own decision about playing baseball at the next level because it's a job. It's not always fun, but it's going to teach you work ethic, time management, how to deal with adversity, persistence. So working with the stretch here. No latency? Okay. I worry sometimes when I shoot the gun and I get a weird number like 42. I'm like, oh, shoot, I hope that's not like the frequency of like our Starlink or something. So wild pitch is going to let both runners advance. So wild pitch puts 2 runners in scoring position now for Gage Dula. Say Dula is a name that we have been following for a minute. Plays for that Foothills Prospects team, and I believe there's desire to play college at the next level. 82 on the fastball by Chandler. That's what we were talking about in the pregame with the Meineke Fleet keys of the games, is if both these guys can fill the zone, which, again, they both have a hit batter between them. If they can fill the zone, they have the velo to really dominate a small school lineup. Ground ball here. Deaton throws over to McCurry. But, looked a little sloppy at first as McCurry wandered out into the hole to try to field it. That's where that pitcher's got to remember to go over and cover just in case. 4-3, 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. It's going to be McMahon, Shooter Fox, and Lane Chandler.
Want to help support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge? Visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. The more financial support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge can earn, the more coverage of West North Carolina baseball we can bring to you, including the College Tour Series, the High School Scout Streaming Series. American Legion posts 70 coverage, weekly media content, and more. Choose which tier is right for you at www.patreon.com/bbuniversitywNC. Stay connected to Baseball University of the Blue Ridge across all platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@bbuniversitywNC. Like us on Facebook at Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram at @BBUNiversityWNC. And check out the website at www.baseballu.org. Our second inning is brought to you by Hill Tax Solutions. Hill Tax Solutions is the official tax preparer of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge. They've been in business since mid to late 90s. Appreciate Aaron and them over there at Hill Tax Solutions for performing all kinds of tax returns for everyone.
Well, I want to do a quick update on the Twitter to let everybody know the score. We hope that we're getting a big following today. 5 o'clock game yesterday, there was nobody in the stands at the Asheville TC game up until about 4:30. Then all of a sudden, it's just like the floodgates open. Everybody's working, everyone's practicing, everyone's playing. So the viewership after the game was only about 100 or so, but it's already up in the 350 or so after everybody got home and had a chance to watch the replay. What's the call here? So they're going to say that Mac Mahan did not break his hands on the swing. So as the ball rode up and it hit his wrist, they're going to reward him with the hit by pitch. So second hit batter to lead off an inning, each inning, by Stevens. So
Now coming to play number 6.
we'll see if Griff makes a habit of it. Maybe he's just trying to make a point at the start of each inning. That's not true. I'm just messing. However, back to those keys of the game. He's got to fill that zone and make them beat him. No free pass. Oh, bunch through one. Shouldn't have. So he's got to let that one go. So Shooter Fox bunts through one of his eyeballs for strike one. Say small ball. We talked about small schools got to play small ball. So it's the right strategy here early in the game, trying to get insurance runners on, especially at the end of the lineup here. Chandler on deck.
Could have hit the knob.
If it did hit the knob, hats off to Mac Mahan for the acting job. Nice play by Yamber. Oh, they got Mac Mahan in the pickle. Yep. Oh, they're saying that he missed the tag. Wow. All right, so 5-3 on the put out of Fox on the bunt. So sack bunt. Mac Mahan makes his way all the way to third. We're watching the replay here. Our angle's tough.
You can't tell from that.
You can't tell, and it's too swipey. When you're making a tag on the base pass, and it's hard in this case, but try to get two hands, push the runner. For you kids listening at home, if you can actually put both your hands together with that ball in the mitt and push the runner to make some physical contact, move him a little bit, even if you knock him to the ground, like that's going to show that umpire that you got the tag on him. So the swipey tag, whether he got him or not, gives the illusion that Mac Mahan was safe. Sack bunt in the books for Shooter Fox. Mac Mahan makes it all the way to third. Coach Stevens going to make his case to the home umpire.
Feels like it's going to be a little chippy tonight.
Well,
emotions are high.
There you go.
Championships on the line.
There's your Meineke Fleet keys to the game number 1, and sometimes it is driven by the parents and the fans. Let the kids play. I talked to a mother in the stands before the game started, and she just reiterated, like most moms do, I just want these kids to have fun. You don't want that kind of emotional pressure, and I actually agree. There can be pressure to work hard, pressure to follow through, pressure to have accountability, but you can't make or break your whole life on a game of failure like baseball. A lot of yelling in baseball. Chandler with a big swing. And this is where he's going to, if he goes and plays at the college level, if he's a PO, that's one thing. But his approach has to get shorter to the ball. He's got a big home run swing. He's just got to know when to bring the home run swing out and bring out the two-strike approach. Same, good weather, not overly hot. If it was over 80 degrees, then the Cougars probably questioning the all-black jersey choice. So 0-2 delivery here to Lane Chandler. Just outside on the fastball. Nice block by Dula. Might stand up for the radar gun reading. Oh. Curveball. So Lane Chandler does a job. Sack fly, RBI. Tate Jensen making the play out there in center field. So McMahon, lucky to be alive on the base pass after that pickle, scores the run from third base on the Chandler sac fly. Malachi Huskins to the plate. Malachi hitting for, or DHing for Bennett tonight, Carter Bennett. Carter had a great game on the bump on Tuesday. I'm a fan of Carter Bennett. I think he's the most complete pitcher on Mountain Heritage. Really enjoyed watching him work against Madison earlier in the year. Just a mid-sevens guy, so he's not crushing the radar gun yet. But, man, Bennett is going to be an arm in college if he keeps working hard. Again, being hit for by Huskins here. Swinging and a foul tip into the umpire's shoe. It's a great way to start the game for the Heritage Cougars. They got to be amped up, but they got to also remain focused, right? If you get your emotions too high on an early lead.
Again, come on, man.
It's only human.
Yeah, but did I move?
You weren't looking.
Yeah, well, I watched it.
I was reading the Rawlings symbol on the baseball. I should say Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah, 8-10-10.
Well, no, you can use Wilson, and you can also use I think Diamond has a brand ball. Baden did for a while. I don't know if they're still around. There's only a couple of baseball companies, I think, out there for this level of play. All four to Huskins. That's actually the first walk allowed by Stevens. He's given up hit two batters as well.
How much is a dozen baseballs nowadays? I know there used to be $60.
I gotta buy a dozen 8-10-10s and probably 2 dozen 10-30s here for the Mars Hill prospect filming coming up. I'm probably looking at a bill close to maybe $300.
So they're almost doubled now?
It's crazy. It's white gold. Pearls.
I got some SEC balls if you need to use them.
Bring them all.
Some NCAA ones.
Pop fly. Back behind us.
I've probably only been hit one or two times.
You got to have some good baseballs because when we're doing TrackMan with exit velos like last year, we did an event and the host fields said, hey, we got baseballs. When we got there, the baseballs were just beating the heck. And I don't feel they did a great job measuring exit velo, so we're going to bring all our own balls this year. Wild pitch, that ball scoots way away from Dula. It's going to allow Huskins to move up to second base. Wild pitch. Caden Carroll batting with 2 outs here.
I want to thank our broadcast sponsor once again, CamWood Bats, located in Haywood County, but serving baseball and softball players across the nation. Game bat trainers, tees, tutorials, and more, all available for purchase at www.camwoodbats.com. And as part of our partnership with CamWood, make sure to use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through their website.
Well, CamWood, they worked hard for us, providing 25 trophy bats this year. Actually, no, 27 trophy bats, because we had 2 exclusive features that didn't count towards the 25 on the Scout Streaming Series. So 27 bats. Mitchell Whitener, specifically, CamWood employee, working really hard to design, laser cut, paint, stain, get those to us. And a big, big thank you to Wes Helms of CamWood for getting behind us and supporting us with their sponsorship. Caden Carroll fighting here at 0-2. Very talented young man. Going to be playing for Coach Steve McMillan up at Southwest Virginia Community College. Very happy to see him going there. I think he's going to have a chance to play right away as Southwest continues their rebuild in a tough Region 10 conference. Another foul ball. So great fight here by the senior Caden Carroll. So we've seen Caden take some big hacks in the last couple seasons. He's got home run power, a lot of speed, versatile ball player. Playing shortstop this evening, but I think at the college level he could play just about anywhere. Might actually end up in the outfield with his speed. Swing and a miss here at the Stevens fastball. And that is out, number 3. So as we head into the bottom of the second, it'll be Ballard, Bonderden, I think I'm saying that right, and Tyler Lang. I want to thank our second inning sponsor, Hale Tax Solution. Hale Tax Solution has been around since 1997, and it's headed by former IRS agents. I think that right there is the selling point for me. They're not supporters of the IRS, who is, but being former IRS agents, they know how that entire institution runs inside and out. So if there's a way to save a penny, they're going to help you figure it out. You wouldn't want anybody else helping navigate you through the complex tax system of the United States federal government right now than Hale Tax Solutions. It's not tax season anymore, but extensions, bookkeeping services, consulting, and even representation of state or federal audits. Tax season is no longer in full swing. However, give Hale Tax Solutions International a call at 828-435-6082. If you have any questions about those services.
I just noticed this looking at a replay screen on the computer. Their logo says IRS problems. Yeah, I got some problems with the IRS.
I mean, I think their wording there is very careful, right? The IRS causes problems. What was the president saying? He's trying to create the External Revenue Service. My golly. So maybe some of these young men in this game can go study finance and figure out how to get through the complexities.
Who is the senior from Asheville going to UPenn Wharton School of Business?
That's Jay Sekretarski, Division
When
I.
I heard that, I was like, whoa.
Division I baseball player right there going to UPenn. Jay, I mean, Asheville's just such a quiet program, as good as they are. They're very closed door, so hard to learn a lot about them. But Jay Sekretarski's been a player I've been very high on for 3 seasons now. He's at the top of my very top of my follow list for pro stuff as well. I mentioned before I do some associate scouting for the Dodgers. It doesn't mean I pull the strings, doesn't mean I'm getting you drafted, but I like reporting on players that we feel are special, that we feel are important to track. And I was explaining to Hunter just how complex the pro scouting scene is right now. Like, for example, I've turned in some names a couple weeks ago at the college level, and the area director that I report to hollered and went over the names with me, and he's pulling up systems that the Dodgers, actually all of it, had ground ball to third here. Oh, my. I was going to say McMahon had to leap to haul in that Baltimore chopper and throw it across, but it's going to be an infield single for Nolan Ballard. Where was I at? I was in the middle of some sort of rant there.
Talking about the reporting your guys to the Dodgers?
Oh, yes, yes. So
TrackMan system.
So yes, all the TrackMan systems at Division I baseball all feed that data into one complex database, and it'll put guys in the green, the red, the yellow based on how they're doing against certain velocities, certain parts of the plate, certain spin rates. So it's not just like, oh, we have a double play opportunity here. Deaton keeps his foot on the bag to get the out at second. That's going to be a fielder's choice for Wyatt Monnerden. That was a nice play by the third baseman. So 5-4 on the putout. So yes, you turn in a name and it might say they're batting 350, but when they start breaking down the data, just with a click of a button, they can be like, nope, yes, maybe. I don't like it, and I've even asked my boss, like, hey man, are we missing on guys? They said, oh yes, for sure. However, the data, that's a wild pitch. That's going to get all the way back to the dugout, or excuse me, the backstop. Shooter Fox running it down. Monnerden on the wild pitch heading into second. He said the biggest misses are coming from guys who are just starting to figure it out or turn a corner, where maybe some of that data for the prior weeks or months is just no longer accurate. Intangibles, again, there's no data for intangibles. Oh, hard line drive into left field. Picked up out there by Branson Fox. Throws it in. They're going to hold the runner. It'll be a first and third situation. We're going to award Lang with a single on that. Hit very hard.
Coming to the plate, number 4, Caden Barker.
So Draughn threatening here with one out in the first and third situation. Number 9 hitter Caden Barker to the plate, left-handed swinger. So with the lefty in a box, might be a good time to take the steal here. Error hit. What do you think? I said hit.
Give him a hit.
Pick off attempt here by Chandler. Say Chandler's been sitting low 8s on the fastball here. Curveball, high 6s. Goes back to the curveball. We're going to let Lang take second. Again, we don't like that. We've talked about that first and third defense. We want to see something on. We want to see people throw through. We want to see cuts. We want to see picks to third. I just feel like at high school level, we got to be better than just take it. Now, if it's end of the game and you're up 6-0, that's called defensive indifference. You let them take the bag because it really has no effect on the overall game outcome at that point. And if you get a catcher's indifference, that's not rewarded a stolen base. In this case, it's too early in the game, too close to score, so Lang will be given that stolen base. Oh, nice piece of hitting here. Is it going to bloop? Oh, Branson Fox is not able to come up with it on the dive. Throws in. It's going to be an RBI single for Barker. So a nice piece of hitting by Barker to flick that into left field. Excellent effort by Fox out there in left field. Looks like he had it in the glove for a second, but once he hit the ground, it popped out as he rolled over it. So excellent effort by the senior. So Coach Reagan going to come out and talk to his infield real quick.
Well, good time to mention our travel sponsor this evening, Weicker Realtors Team Metro, and Sean Yamber, real estate agent. I want to talk a little bit about him. If you're looking to buy or sell a residential home, commercial property, or land, give Sean Yamber a call. Sean Yamber at Weicker Realtors Team Metro services Unit 4 and the surrounding counties of the Catawba Valley as an accredited buyer's rep, relocation specialist, and short sale foreclosure resource. He helps clients through all kinds of transactions. In 2024, is a multi-million-dollar producing agent that brokered many deals with his clients and worked with lenders to help clients qualify for that dream home and make the real estate deal easy. Stay local, buy local, invest local. Sean Yamber is your choice local real estate expert.
Yeah, you want a good realtor when you're buying a home or selling a home because, man, is that a stressful situation. My brother just went through it, still going through it. Hopefully purchasing his first house with his wife down in Campobello. Learned that today. But it's been a headache of a process for him, so they probably should have called Sean, but I don't know if Sean deals in the Campobello area. He's more in that Catawba Valley area. So if you're living out in this Catawba area, get with Sean. So Griff Stevens up for a second time, bunted and was retired in the first inning. Bunts here. They're going to pick it up. Tag is made by McCurry. It's going to be a sack bunt in the book for Griff Stevens.
Coming to the plate, number 2, Chase Yamper.
So with 1 run in already, Coach Stevens playing it safe here. Small ball is going to sacrifice the out to move the runners up. So 2 outs, but 2 runners in scoring position for Chase Yamber, who had a hard single in the first inning.
You think that ball was going foul?
Yes. But still probably the right play with 1 out. Go ahead and take that out. Now you have first base open. You don't have to give in to Yamber. You can spin it. You can try to make him chase. So we'll see how Chandler attacks. Falls behind 1-0 here. A little pick play at third to no avail.
I want to see a hidden ball trick in high school.
Never seen it work. What's the rules on it? You can't step on the rubber without the ball, but as long as you're off the rubber. So fastball runs up and in, 2-0. Again, doesn't have to give in to Yamber. So if I'm Chandler here, I'm coming with my best curveball for a strike, trying to get me over. Strike 1 with the curveball. We'll see what he goes to. And Tate Jensen on deck. Oh, so got to be careful. With 2 outs here, you don't have to get that runner at third. Go ahead and attack the batter. And if you fall behind here, again, you have first base open, so you can go ahead and put him on if you need to.
I'm not giving him a fastball in the zone.
Not yet.
Here.
I'm giving him a curveball here. Get me over. Goes fastball, misses outside. So 3-0.
Just put him on at this point.
No, I'd say go ahead and give him a good fastball here, but don't put it in the middle of the plate. Just go ahead and point to a corner. Because if I'm coach, I'm probably giving him green light here if it's 1 spot, right? 1 pitch, 1 spot. Nope. Goes to the spinner, ball 4. So base is loaded here for Draughn.
Ready to play number 10, Tate Jensen.
So Tate was hit by a pitch. His first at bat was a spinner that got him in the back. Nowhere to put him now. So Chandler's going to have to attack him. If you're Draughn here, this is who you want up. This is your best overall player. D1 commit, going to App State. I believe a PO at the next level, but at the high school level, he's got tools all across the board. And there's several programs that at the college level he would be good enough to two-way in. But when you start talking about places like App State, you usually specialize in. Tate Jensen here trying to give the lead back to the Wildcats. Stay deep in the hole here. Carroll does the right thing. He does the right thing, holds the baseball. It'll be an infield RBI single for Jensen. Game is tied, but that was still the right play by Carroll holding that ball. That's a mature choice. A lot of kids with the emotions running high will try to make a throw on that and make a play on it, even though there's no chance to get Jensen. It's hindsight now, but if Carroll's able to get vocal early, or the McMahon at third is able to recognize it early, could have backed off and potentially given Carroll the play in the hole there, but that's a lot to ask when the wheels are turning. So smart play by Carroll to hold it. Tie ball game. Pop fly. That ball is going to just get out. So Jacob Mole, strikeout victim in the first. Tie score here in the second inning. Say Lane Chandler. Mole hits on the right field. Bennett giving chase, dives, and he makes the catch. Excellent play by the right fielder, Carter Bennett. Oh, we needed that. That ball gets past him. We have ourselves a 5-2 game. That is a huge, huge play by Bennett.
After two complete, your score is
I don't know, crowd. You got to be louder than that for that. That was a huge play. I mean, that right there saved 3 runs. Woo-hoo. So Draughn sends 8 to the plate. They're able to come away with 2 to tie it. Heading to the top of the third, it's going to be Deaton, Jones, and McCurry.
Well, we're in the third. Want to thank our third inning sponsor, American Legion Post 70. We're in Coach Raby's country.
Yep.
Out here in Valdese, North Carolina. He's coaching American Legion Post 70 down in Asheville this year. They're getting started here in a couple weeks once the high school playoffs.
May 21st, I think, is the first game against Easley.
So that's the day after the regionals will conclude. So if anyone makes a run to states, then probably won't see him on American Legion, but
well, trying to do a quick Twitter update. I'm going to post the link again because I think there's some baseball fans out there that would love to watch this game if they
number 4,
know it's available to watch. So Draughn ties it 2-2, heading into the top of the third now. So Deaton reached on an E4 in the first inning. That was when Caden Carroll was in motion. Deaton grounded the ball at the middle. Swings and sends a fly ball into center field. Settling under it is Jensen. Hauls it in easily. 1 away.
Coming to the plate, number 11, Casey Jones.
Casey Jones reaching on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Stole a base, but was left stranded at second. Casey had a huge swing on Tuesday versus Draughn, hitting a home run off of Tate Jensen. A lefty-lefty swing. That's pretty impressive by Jones. It is funny. Just heard a student out here in the drone section say, "I ain't chirping to you." He knows Casey is a big, strong man. Doesn't hit it too hard there, but that's Barker over there is going to pick it up, step on the bag for an easy out. So 2 easy outs recorded here by.
Definitely the most vocal student section and student support we've seen all year. Not very common at these mountain baseball games. Asheville had a good showing last night, and Draughn is having a good showing tonight. But I haven't really seen that many across the Mountain 7 and Mountain Foothill 7. The West? The Big South has a handful, but we were there a lot early on during the year when it was colder.
So 2 away quickly here. McCurry now in a 1-2 count. I would like to see Stevens just give him his best fastball here and try to get his team pumped up. Let's see. Strikes him out. Says, here it is, hit it. 78 miles per hour on the fastball, but plenty enough to get by McCurry. Third inning sponsor, American Legion Post 70. We just mentioned them. Tryouts are over. Team is selected. Home games are at West Henderson High School. Season starts at the end of May. We're looking for sponsors to try to bring you their season. We'll see. You can follow them on Twitter. They have an Instagram now, too. Yep, and they're on Facebook. So that's the baseball side of things. Like we said, Coach Raby over here in the drone dugout will be helping coach American Legion Post 70, along with Coach Decker, Coach Ryan Decker, and Coach Lindsay from Brevard High School. That's a really talented coaching staff. Legion trying to make its way back to prominence in Western North Carolina mountains. And if you're a vet in that Asheville area, they are looking for new members. So please, if you're an armed service veteran in the Asheville area, please give them a call at 828-299-8463 about membership. And it's a good group of gentlemen. I really enjoyed meeting everybody. We drove down to Legion I drove down to Legion a couple months back to meet with them about a few things. Great staff, older gentlemen. They're like us though. They're not in the 21st century. They need help on their tech. They need help finding sponsors too. But man, they do a great job, charity-wise, out in our Asheville neighborhoods.
Coming to the plate, number 9, Gage.
Saw them at the tryouts we went to over at West Henderson. They're doing everything they can to support that baseball team. They purchased some buses and some vans, the uniforms. I think it's free of charge. They got to do a security deposit for the uniform, but Legion baseball in a lot of cases is free. So it's going to be Gage Dula, Nolan Ballard, and Wyatt Bonnerden here in the third. Bottom of the third. Gage Dula grounded out to second base his first time up. Gage Dula's been working really hard behind the plate. Been impressed with him so far this game. You can see it on those pant legs. Just been getting all sorts of dirty back there behind the dish. I like student section. It's just you don't usually see like football, basketball. That's usually where people show up.
Yeah, I haven't seen big student sections in the mountains a lot. Come down here in the
ground ball mountains. Picked up by Carroll, throwing across. Or out number 1. Nice play by Carroll there in the middle. Bring Nolan Bauer to the plate. Nolan singled in his first AB to lead off the second.
Well, Mount Heritage on a 1-game winning streak versus the Wildcats, and it was their first win of the series because Draughn leads it 6-1 in the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, so it was what? Heritage over Draughn on Tuesday, 5-4.
They never played until they joined the Western Highlands Conference.
Interesting.
Not in the Max Preps era, that is.
Say 2024, Draughn took it 9-6 and 5-4, so close. 23, Draughn 6-1, Draughn 8-4, and 22, Draughn 8-5, Draughn 10-0. So yeah, they've dominated in the series showdown throughout the years, but when it comes to this week, Mountain Heritage up 1-0.
Oh, wow.
Bauer, the second hit of the game. Goes up the middle, 2 for 2. So Boderman up. Bernardin. There we go. Let the PA announcer fix it for me. So Wyatt Bernardin is DHing for Marshall Brinkley today. Brinkley at second. So Wyatt reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Came around to score the first run of the game for Draughn. With the runner going, pops it up down that Bermuda Triangle. Say, nice effort by Levi McCurry down there. Was not able to come up with it. So 0-1 pitch here. Bit of a jog back to the bump for Chandler.
Pitchers are athletes. He was going over there to try to cover the bag at least in the attempts that the runner was not off. No, he was going to make the play too.
Pick off attempt. Throws a little wide. Nice play by McCurry to reach over the runner to grab it.
You can see the softball and baseball buses in your background. What'd you call them? Spearmint green?
Spearmint.
Got the little Yancey County logo on it.
Spearmint. I'd rather have wintergreen. Well, I turned my eyes for a second, so I don't have the call on that play. So we'll let the replay explain it to me. Sorry, folks. It's first and second here for Draughn. Oh, an E6. They had the double play right there. So Carroll unable to haul it in. It's going to be an E6, first and second now. 2 outs. Or excuse me, 1 out. We'll see if that ends up being costly for the Cougars. The bottom of the lineup here, number 8 hitter Tyler Lang. Lang singled and scored the second run of the game in that second inning. Squaring to bunt here. Say Draughn starting to show some life in that dugout. Rattling the Cougars a little bit here with the chirping. This is what we talked about in those Meineke Fleet keys of the game. Keep your cool, keep your head. Chandler with a couple looks, delivers. Curveball, swing and a foul tip. Say coach down there in the third base box. Very encouraging. I love to hear that. Ooh. So a line drive knocked down by Deaton. He's going to go to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. So in the box will be a fielder's choice for Lang.
Coming to the plate, number 4, Peyton Barker.
So 2 outs. First and third situation. You think they're just going to give him second base here? I hope not.
I hope not.
Well, he got a lefty in the box. Easier to run when you got a lefty obstructing the view of the catcher. So again, a shooter Fox behind the plate here. There's a bunt. Oh.
Yeah!
Wow. What a play. So that's McMahon. Tosses it into shooter Fox. Fox makes the tag. It was not a force play, so he had to put the tag on him. I like the attempt by Draughn with the safety squeeze with 2 outs, but it does not work. Excellent defensive play. Again, that is Ballard retired 3-2 on the fielder's choice.
But I want to thank our home team sponsor, Weicker Realtors Team Metro. Already mentioned them earlier, but because they're a travel sponsor, I want to talk a little bit about them again. You can give Sean Yamber a call, Weicker Realtors Team Metro, 828-851-0145, www.seanyamberhomes.com, and Sean at teammetro.net. Appreciate him for being our home team sponsor. And I want to thank our away team sponsor, Bubba's Good Eats. Mindy and Shane Miller, new owners over at Bubba's at 394 East Main Street in Burnsville. Give them a call at 828-678-3388 or reach your cell at 828-284-3534. They're open Monday through Friday 11 to 8, Saturday 7 a.m. to 8. And Facebook, BubbaGoodEats.com. You can get online ordering at the website on your screen, dine in, take out, and order online. Tell us about all your catering needs. Take you to Bubba's Good Eats. Being our away team sponsor. We're in the fourth now. Brought to you by Hauling Solutions and Grading. Andrew Gasori over at Hauling Solutions and Grading's got a call for any of the dirt, rock, and topsoil needs. And we gave him a call the other day. He came and gave us an estimate. And we appreciate him coming out to the residents and helping us out with our FEMA claim, thanks to Hurricane Helene. So definitely is the guy to call.
Well, Branson Fox to lead it off here for the Cougars in the top of the fourth. He'll be followed by Liam McMahon and younger brother, Shooter Fox. Branson struck out in the first, ended the first. So Steven's still dealing out there. Swing, pop fly into right field. Ballard under it, makes the play for out number 1.
Coming to the plate, number 5, Liam McMahon.
So 4 outs recorded via the fly ball. So a couple lazy fly ball outs. They got to start putting that ball on the ground a little bit. I've always said you put the ball on the ground, they got to catch it, throw it, and then the other person's got to catch it. Whereas a pop-up, all you got to do is catch it. So player percentages, if you're putting that ball just lofting up in the air for the easy outs, start getting that ball on the ground a little bit, make them work. So curveball misses up. 1-1. Say we mentioned earlier, Coach Hamby in the dugout for the Cougars was a Limestone grad. I know he was feeling really bummed out when he got the news about Coach Harker's staff, Limestone. Not them just being cut, but the whole dang school being cut. Have you heard anything on it? Are they still trying to keep academics at all? Or are they just
I think they
all
raised
sports?
some money, so I don't know where and what's happening over there, especially with the end of the school year.
Limestone's been around for 100+ years. Used to be a junior college. Swing and a miss. Chases one up and in. Puts the tag on him after he dropped it there. So 2 outs. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks for Stevens. Averaging about a K an inning. So Shooter Fox had a sack bunt, so not an official AB yet, 0 for 0. Working hard behind the plate. Again, younger brother to Branson. Hot fly coming out behind us. And no injuries. Everybody is able to elude it. I don't think we've seen any sort of crazy bystander injuries this year, thankfully. Knock on wood. Oh, where's my CamWood bat? Knock on it. We did see a picture a couple nights ago. I think when we were up at Pisgah, someone showed us, was it Avery? No, Avery's the older brother. Simmons got hit in the face by a Amos Rich fastball a couple weeks ago or last week. And, man, it looked like he just got done a couple rounds with Mike Tyson. So glad to hear that he's doing well, though. Did he have to get surgery?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that's a bummer. It shows you baseball can be a dangerous game, especially when you're bringing that high velo. So ground out ends the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning. What do we got here real quick? Hold on. Umpires are meeting and talking around the bag because Shooter Fox.
It's not the middle of the field.
Yeah, we're watching the replay right now. So Yamber throws it across. Oh, they're saying he didn't have control. He did jumble a little bit there. So E3?
Coming to the plate, number 3.
Oh, back that up real quick. Is that an E3 because he couldn't handle it, or did he bounce the throw? He dropped it. It's E3. Yeah. So E3 is going to allow Shooter Fox to reach first base. Erase that ground out call. That's going to bring Lane Chandler up. So Lane with a chance to maybe give himself the lead back here. Never mind. Ball up and in. Hits him. Hit by pitch. So first and second. So what we thought was a 1-2-3 inning for Draughn is now turned into an opportunity. Runners in scoring position. The number 9 hitter, Malachi Huskins. Malachi walked in the second inning, so 0 for 0. Big time change of events there.
How the turntables.
How the turntables, wicka change, turn. I don't know whatever you want to call it.
How the turntables.
What was that, an Office quote, right? Yeah. Was that Michael Scott? First pitch swinging. Chopper right back to Stevens. He's going to take it himself. So ground out 1. That's the 3rd out. No damage done as we head into the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be top of the lineup for Draughn. 4th inning sponsor, Hauling Solutions and Grading. Again, Andrew Casoria, owner of Hauling Solutions and Grading, is the guy to call for any kind of gravel, dirt, rock, topsoil, or more delivered to your home, business, or job site. Andrew works primarily out of Henderson County, but can deliver to Buncombe, Haywood, Transylvania, Polk. So for all our fans down here in Burke County, Andrew's probably not the guy. However, if you have family or you live in that Henderson, Buncombe County area, you're going to want to get with Andrew. As far as the grading side, they've added that to the business so they can work on driveways, culvert replacements, bank erosions, ditch work, building pads, and more. Andrew's got a great team to take care of you, so give him a call or a text at 828-776-9377. You can also check him out on Facebook. That's how I originally found Andrew. He's also got an email, macHaulingSolutions@gmail.com, and a website, hauling-solutions.com. And I found him on Instagram the other day and tagged him for our game flyer, so I think you can find him there too. Well, Bottom of the fourth. Lane Chandler back out there. Took an HBP in his half of the inning, so maybe he's a little fired up here. Get his Cougars back in the dugout quickly. So hopefully our fans up at Bubba's Good Eats are enjoying the game. I'll tell you what, me and Hunter were talking about this the other day. You do a small neighborhood like Yancey or Mitchell County, you'll get about 400, 500 views on the game, whereas you do a game in some of the bigger neighborhoods, like viewership's solid, but man, do the fans come out of the woodwork for the small schools. They love supporting the local team. And that's like, I mean, that's a small school rural culture. Like their NFL is the high school. Like, when I was younger, working in the scouting industry in the 2000s, we would fly into Texas a lot to do scouting. And if it was fall and it happened to be a Friday, you would thought that like you were in a zombie apocalypse or something. There would be nobody in the streets. No stores are open. And then you realize like, oh, everybody's at the local high school football game. So Yancey County, Burke County, Mitchell County, Madison County, all these little Hayesville up in Clay County. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing to see that small community support. Oh, there we go. So had a pair of car lights on out in left center field, trying to get them off before we resume the inning. Mission accomplished. Thank you to our PA announcer. I think we saw that at North Henderson last night when we got back, right? Yeah. Heard the PA announcer was getting a little testy on that call. Last year, he had to try about 5, 6, 7 times to get that car to turn the lights off.
That's happened twice.
You could hear the tone getting angrier and angrier with each attempt.
That happened twice. I was at the North Pisgah game that you're talking about, but it also happened last night too.
So 0-1 count here to Griff Stevens. Again, Griff, a Young Harris college commit. Young Harris, a Division II program up in North Georgia, right near that North Carolina line.
Hiwassee.
Yep. Now, as far as baseball goes, I like the way that Coach Wagner runs his program. Young Harris has a development team. A development team at the D2 NAIA level can be a great addition to those programs, especially in this transfer portal world. It's almost like playing JUCO ball at a 4-year. So Young Harris, the best place for Griff at the end of the day when he was deciding on his next recruiting choice. One of the things that attracted him there was that player development team. So when he's in their freshman year, learning, battling, developing, he's still able to get meaningful reps while those older upperclassmen get most of the reps, because that's what D2 NAIA ball is right now. A lot of 22, 23, 24-year-old athletes getting the money, getting the playing time. So teams like Young Harris, Limestone had one, Erskine, Montreat, Milligan, Barton, they all have JV developmental teams and able to give their freshmen an opportunity to play on the daily. So Stevens battling here, 0-2. Chandler deals. Swing and a miss. Nice job by Chandler. That's the right pitch call right there, going for the high heat.
Come to the plate, number 2, Chase Yamber.
Second strikeout for Chandler. First one recorded since the first inning. So Chandler through 3 1/3 now. He's given up the 2 runs. So they've been hitting them a little bit. Just had 7 hits for Draughn, scattered enough to only bring in the 2 runs. So his truck lights came on for a second again back out there. Ball way out. So Chase Yamber up for a second time. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. 82 on the gun again for Chandler. He's been steady 82 most of this game with his fastball. So Yamber been hitting well. Productive member of this Wildcats lineup. Definitely wants to play in college. Chase has been very open-minded as he started his research prospects. He's all about Division III baseball, D2, willing to listen on JUCO. Good grades as well. So it's a full count here now. Didn't like that call, but doesn't matter. Takes a quick little journey around the batter's circle, breathes, steps back in. I'm expecting a fastball. Misses low. Ball 4. So third time Yamber's been on base tonight. 1 for 1 with the 2 walks.
Plate number 10, Tate Jensen.
Tate knocked in a run in the second. Actually tied the game on a single. He's made a couple putouts in center field this evening. Good athlete heading to App State. So coach is yelling at him, step out, step out.
Turned off in the outfield.
Oh, my Lord. It's like whack-a-mole with these car lights out there.
White pickup truck. Come on, OJ, turn it off.
Oh, gotta love it. 90s reference. Only in Western Maryland or Western North Carolina can we get away with our OJ jokes.
Lights off.
Hey, Silver Dodge, go 2 doors over and tell him to turn his headlights off.
Next thing I'm waiting for is an AC. Was it AC Collings? Who's the guy that drove the infamous white Bronco?
White Bronco?
No, it was the he made an OJ joke.
Yeah.
There's a guy, I think it was AJ Collings that was driving the actual. It was like I don't know how he's. I don't know. I'm not reminiscing on this. Why are we talking about this?
Turn your headlights off.
Thank you.
Oh my Lord! It's about to send one of these chirpy student fans out here into the parking lot to shut it off. But anyway, we'll resume it here. 1 out. Yamber on first with the walk. Jensen up. Jensen 1 for 1. Was hit by a pitch in the first. Had the RBI single in the second. Behind 0-1 here. Ooh, excuse me, swing by Jensen's and make it a quick 0-2. Now I go to my curveball. I'll bury one here. You got to be careful. Say Fox is going to have to be big back there because I don't know if I want this in the dirt, but I definitely want it out of the zone. So I know Fox is a young freshman, but you know that pitch is coming. You got to be ready to block it. So it's going to allow Yamber to move up on the wild pitch.
Need a camera right here that we can just switch to and just said hello to us.
Saying small school baseball, a lot of times you'll see those freshmen, sophomores get their varsity hacks early.
Ooh, there we go.
What's up?
Dad's alma mater making it to the 3rd round.
Harlem beats Whitaker.
Whitewater.
Can't read.
They beat him in Game 3 today. Split yesterday in Games 1 and 2 of the second round of the GHSA 3A playoffs. So Dad will be happy to hear that. Coach Jimmy Lewis going for 3 in a row, state champions.
Swing, drive, sending Jones back. And that ball is gone. Just missed it out there. So Jones gave it a leap, but is out, just out of the outstretched reach. And that is a 2-run home run for Tate Jensen. Oh boy, what a big swing here in the bottom of the 4th. So that's Yamber that scores ahead of them. Now we are looking at a 4-2 ball game. So watching the replay right now, I want to see how close Case and Jones got to taking this ball back. Man,
it was very close.
So 4-2 game here. Jacob Mull up now with 1 out. And this brings us back to those Meineke Fleet keys to the game. Got to keep your head when the emotions or when the pressure gets on. So don't let those emotions get the best of you. So Mull keeping the hit parade going with a line drive single to left field. So 1 out here in the 4th. Let's bring Gage Doula up. Gage 2 ground outs today.
Gage Doula.
Still a lot of ball game left here, so Mountain Heritage has to keep their composure. A couple ground balls, a couple pop outs, and they'll be right back in that dugout for the top of the 5th. Man, Casey Jones really made an effort to bring that ball back. It's throw down by Fox, just in under the tag is Mull. It's a nice effort by Fox there on the throw. So another runner in scoring position here for Draughn. So time call, that pitch will not count. Good. I got a text message from Jennings Greens at Mitchell. Was glad to meet him this year. He said, talking about the hats. Let me know when you're coming back. I'll get you one. I'm like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I love hats. I never did this, but my buddy tried to visit all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums and got a hat from every single one. I want to do that for Western North Carolina high school baseball. Heck, I'll rock a Bessemer City hat. Let's go. Just give me any hat.
I've actually been on my friend put me on an app called Memento where you can track all your concerts and all your sporting events and what you've been to.
Nice pitch. I'll tell you, that's Chandler's go-to pitch tonight is if he can lull them a little bit with that curveball, kind of show him that high entrance with the curveball, but then bring that fastball right back up towards the chest. He's getting some chases. Right here, I'm probably doing that same pitch, and if he don't offer, I'll come back with a curve for a strike. Yep, nice job. Gets the K. So 2 Ks in the inning for Chandler. And now Heritage can breathe a little bit. Try to retire Ballard here. Get back in the dugout. Say a 2-run deficit is not the end of the world here for the Cougars. Say Ballard working on the 2-for-2 night. He's had 2 singles. Say Ballard also playing for that Foothills prospect team this summer. Nice pitch. Get me over strike 1 curveball. There's some turkey calls over there in the dugout. Bourbon red,
sound like behind my house the past few nights.
Ooh, misses just inside. So the umpire's doing a pretty good job. There's been some controversy we saw there in the first inning, the wrong call followed by the wrong call, which negated the wrong call.
2 wrongs make a right.
Yeah, apparently.
Never seen that before. Kids, don't tell your parents that.
Oh, Lordy. 3 rights. Make a left?
Yeah. 3 lefts make a right. No?
I don't know. This ain't a physics quiz. Let's just get back to the baseball. So Ballard in right field tonight. Trying to extend this inning with 2 outs. He's got the runner in scoring position there. Mull staying on second base. Chandler goes back to the curve, fouled off, 2 strikes now, 2-2. How long's Jimmy C. Draughn High School been around? Did you get that little trivia question?
Let me scroll over.
Say a 1A school entering the 4 next year or the 3?
It can vote next year. Jimmy C. Draughn is 17 years old, established in 2008. Old enough to vote next year or this fall.
Ooh, so that's the right. I'll say it's the right pitch by Chandler. Just have to get it down a little bit. So full count here. And first base is open, so you don't necessarily have to give in to him here. You can spin something.
Patton was opened in 2007. So, yeah, they've been adding some.
Burke County growing.
Burke County growing for sure.
So what else we got out here? We got Freedom. I know Freedom, we met Coach Hackett a couple weeks ago. Freedom not very much discussed when it came to the baseball programs that needed the most help after Helene, so we want to draw attention to Freedom. Their field was washed away. They did not have a home field this year. I know a lot of the mountain schools like Owen, ACA, Pisgah got that attention, but on the Catawba River, Freedom's field was washed away as well. And he's going to rip one into right field here. Throw home is cut. Nolan Ballard with his 3rd hit of the game drives in the 5th run for the Draughn Wildcats. Sorry, I was coughing and choking on my excitement there. Ooh, so Mull scores. 3 runs in the 4th. Ballard working on a pretty solid box score here. 3 for 3 with an RBI.
I want to get that man some oxygen.
So Wyatt, I don't want to keep botching this poor young man's name. Bondurant? Benorden? We'll see. We'll let the PA announcer fix it again. So Wyatt 0 for 2, but has reached twice. Once on a fielder's choice, scoring the 1st run of the game in the 2nd for Draughn, and reaching on an error in the 3rd. Doesn't help his OBP. But once you're on those base paths, you're helping your team by taking good secondaries, taking extra bases when you can. So any way you can get on base. So 1-1 count here. Say Wyatt, the DH for the second baseman Marshall Brinkley this evening. So again, senior night for Draughn. I believe it was 5 seniors they celebrated this evening.
I'm a big heavy person.
Ball's going to get past the catcher. He's going to let Ballard move on down on the wild pitch to second base. Again, Griff Stevens, Tate Jensen, Marshall Brinkley, and Jacob Mull. Excuse me, or 4 seniors it looks like. 4 seniors. Griff Stevens, Marshall Brinkley, Tate Jensen, and Jacob Mull this evening.
Conference championship.
So Chandler trying to record one more out and end this rally, 3-run rally for the Draughn Wildcats. Pop fly back behind us here. Long AB here for Wyatt Benorden. Say, trying to check in on some of these scores. Looks like Cherryville's up on Burns 3-2. Cherryville might just have their number this year. Curious as to see how Smokey's doing in that East Henderson matchup. Strike 3 on the curveball. Gets him looking. Lane Chandler able to escape. strikes out the side, and in the top of the fifth, it's going to be the top of the lineup for the Cougars.
Well, again, I want to reiterate our Patreon. Please go check that out. All the information is on your screen. You can help us with the laundry list of things that we do for coverage in the Western North Carolina mountains and the foothills, and we got some playoff projections we'll talk about in this half inning. Stay connected to us across all our platforms. You can see when some of these things will get posted on the Patreon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, X, whatever it's called, and the website. All right there on your screen. Want to definitely get those out there for you guys to see.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We have, 4 paying members right now and about 40 plus some members in general. It's $5 a month. The whole theory there is if we can get like 100 of y'all fans out there to give $5 a month, it's another revenue stream for us. Purchases need to be made. Me and Hunter were kicking this around yesterday. We're talking to one of the assistant coaches at TC, Robertson, who let us borrow a little bit of tech down there to play with on some adapters. But basically, we all came to the conclusion that we need a new iPad, something just for the year 2025. I say this thing is probably made pre-COVID. What's that term again? Planned obsolescence. So I think that's kind of what we're running into. So we do have some more investments to make, and the more that the community gives, the better we can make this Western North Carolina product for you. And remember, this is a college recruiting service that we're trying to provide these players for free by doing these broadcasts.
Well, it's a fifth inning. I want to thank Nova Pitching Performance. Got their Facebook, Instagram, email, and phone number up there on your screen. Coach Anthony Payne doing awesome things over there as we get started. And that was a pretty daggum good pitch.
Say Griff Stevens can do some pretty gritty pitching on any given day. Say we were down in Asheville yesterday. Coach Payne had worked with Carter Burnett, Western Carolina Catamount now. As a freshman, has been getting some good innings. Ground ball to shortstop here. Eats up Mole. Carroll motoring across. He's going to be safe. Nice job by Gage Dula backing up, not allowing Carroll to advance. So it's going to be an E6 to lead off the fifth here, but that's the base runner that they needed. Coach Anthony Payne had worked with Carter, who's in his freshman year at Western. Carter had never pitched before going into his senior year at Asheville. It was like mid-80s, spins it pretty well, started working with Coach Payne, and next thing you know, he's 93, 94 miles per hour pitching D1 baseball for the Catamounts. Deaton with the drive. See if Jensen can make a play on it. Yes, he can. It's an atom ball, so hit hard, but right at him. It's the second time that Deaton's been retired by Jensen out there in center. So 1 out. Here comes Cason Jones.
Cason Jones.
So Cason Jones was inches away from bringing that Tate Jensen home run back into the ballpark. Seemed like he was almost disappointed with himself there. He slammed his glove into the ground, so it must have been close.
It looked very close. I think it was just out of reach because he made every effort to go get it.
So 0-1 count. Pick on. Oh, they got him here. So Carroll is trying to get a quick step there and steal, but he is picked off. So there's 1-3-6, I believe, on the pickoff. So nice job by Stevens there. Held it just long enough. Carroll started his feet. He spun, fired, caught him. Yep, there it is. So 3-6. Yeah, 3-6. Or 1-3-6 is the put out. Cason Jones got nobody on base now. 2 outs. Stevens delivers.
Better.
They line drives right back into the aluminum fence. We're directly behind home plate today, set up on a table. Thank you to Coach Stevens, Coach Yambers setting us up. Well, Payson Jones going to go down with the strikeout. Griff Stevens dialed in pretty good now, hasn't allowed a run since that second inning. And that right there is your gritty pitch of the game, striking out Payson Jones. And it seems that Griff Stevens won drive.
Nova Baseball working with youth, high school, and college pitchers. Now, look, you don't have to be an in-house client to Coach Payne. Like, if you live in the Asheville, Western North Carolina area, you can get Coach Payne.
But he's also trying to do a lot of remote work. So just hypothetical, you could be a college pitcher in, let's say, Pennsylvania, right? If you like what Coach has got to say and Coach has got to teach, you can do remote work with him because ultimately he's trying to give you the skill set, the training initiatives, and the workouts to advance your mobility, your athleticism, your range of motion, etc. So, again, whether you're near or far, you're going to want to get with Nova Baseball because they got the new school data and the old school grit.
Camera 4 is dying. I'll be right back.
So Hunter going to go check on one of our cameras. Looks like we're low on a battery. So not too hard to get up on the roofs of these dugouts today. The dugout roof leads to the shed roof. So we'll keep an eye on Hunter. Say Hunter, decent athlete in his time, but usually I'm the one going to the top of the ladders, top of the fences. Got that decent balance even at age 41. It's all those years of skateboarding and climbing trees and all that stuff growing up.
6, Tyler Ryan.
So it's a very important bottom of the fifth inning for the Cougars. They're going to need to hold the Wildcats scoreless if they're going to give themselves a chance to stay in this game. And they're at the bottom of the lineup here with Lang, Barker, and then to the top with Stevens. So now would be the time to try to cruise through one. Chandler's been low eights. Drops down here. Hot fly in the right field. Sprinting in is Bennett to make the play. Nice play by the outfielder, Bennett. So Caden Barker up. Caden had an RBI single in the second inning and a fielder's choice in the third, so 1 for 2. How we doing? Swing, line drive, single to right field. That's a big hit by the 9-hitter Barker, who's having a very productive game out of the 9-hole. So that's the freshman there, 2 for 3. 2 for 3 with a rib, and that's going to bring the top up. That's Griff Stevens. Griff bunted to lead off the game, was thrown out by Chandler. Nice play coming off the mound. He was put up the sacrifice bunt in the second inning and struck out in the fourth. So technically 0 for 2 for Stevens. So Chandler mostly working with the fastball curveball mix. Fouls one off here. So 10 hits allowed by Chandler here through 4 1/3. So that kind of goes against our keys to the game. Swing here by Stevens. That is going to be a fair ball. Branson Fox trying to dig it out of the left field corner. Here's the throw from Carroll. It's cut off by Chandler. Throw to third. He is safe. Man, I don't know if he should have cut that ball. I think that throw might have had a chance at home. So it's going to be an RBI double by Stevens. He takes third on the throw. That's going to score Barker all the way from first base. That makes it a 7 or a 6-2 game. And with Stevens being the pitcher, they're going to put
Chase Yamber.
I'm going to say it's number 21 who is not on the roster here, so I have no idea who's running at third. So we'll just put him down as 21 courtesy runner. Oh, boy. So 11 hits in the game for Draughn. Chase Yamber working on a 1-for-1 day with 2 walks, scored a run. So been on base all 3 times, takes a strike there. But yeah, Meineke Fleet keys the game. We said as long as these guys fill it up, we felt their stuff was going to be enough to dominate. Hats off to Draughn for getting 11 hits off of Chandler. So Chandler's exhibited some good stuff, low 80s. Yamber squares, puts the bunt down. Oh, we're going to have a run down here, but there's nobody at third, so we'll see if they can get the tag in on him. No, they said he's out, so fielder's choice for Yamber as he tried to put the bunt down. So that is a – so that's 1
Coming to the plate, number 10, Tate Jensen.
1-2 – let's see here. So 1-2 to 6 on the put out. Interesting. That's a big out. So again, a 4-run game here instead of a 5-run game. So 6-2, 2 outs now. So they take Jensen up. Tate having a great game. He is 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer, 3 RBIs total, and was also hit by a pitch. So Chandler drops down, tries to spin one, but stays inside. Again, the Western Highlands Championship on the line this evening. Whoever wins takes that championship. Swing, drive. That ball is going to get down in front of Jones. They're going to send Yamber. Throw coming in. Chandler tries to cut it. Ball hits off his glove. And I'm putting a single in the book. We'll say second on the throw.
Coming to the plate, number 23, Jacob Morrow.
So Yamber, good hustle to score that 7th run. 4 RBIs for Jensen. And that's another one where I think Yamber's probably scoring on that play. I was wondering if he should have cut that, but it looks like Yamber would have scored either way. So 7-2 here. Chandler still battling. It's 12 hits on the night now. So Draughn, the hit parade marches on. Big Jacob Mull up now. Jacob 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Playing shortstop this evening. Looks like that softball game up there on the hill has settled. So I'm not sure how Mountain Heritage and Draughn softball teams have done this year. Run at him, run at him. So, got to throw it sooner than that. So Jensen going to try to score here. That ball is stuck in the fence over there or something. That's going to allow Jensen to score. So E6 on the throw is what allows Jensen to score. Now, Fox did the right thing there. He ran at him, and when he made the throw and Jensen took off, they actually had him if they make that throw right away. So Fox actually did the right thing. If Carroll throws that ball right away, they may get Jensen. But 8-2. A lot of athleticism there from Jensen, though. Make that happen. Scores his 2nd run of the game. Jacob Mole now batting with nobody on. So good players meeting at home, or excuse me, players meeting around the mound. Umpire going to start sauntering out to bring back the return of play. So Mole has just been standing in the box watching a lot of things happen. You need me? Let me move for you here. You sure? Okay. So 2 outs, 8-2 lead, nobody on. Mole with a 2-0 count. Mole swings and hits one way up,
Yes, sir!
and gone. We'll let Drones fans mull that one over for a minute as Jacob makes his rounds around the bases. And the seniors are having a heck of an evening between Mole, Stevens, and Jensen. These seniors are going to town. We got to wonder. With 9 runs on the board, 13 hits total, I believe.
Coming to the plate, number 9, Gage Duba.
You got to think Coach Reagan is going to go to his bullpen here. Looks like Cade Carroll going to take the mound. Well, we got a minute to talk during this pitcher's change, so let's go ahead and thank our broadcast sponsor, CamWood Bats. That coupon that we've been using, right? BBU WNC. You use that coupon code at CamWoodBats.com, you earn yourself a 10% discount. Again, it's BBU WNC. Texted Coach, Wes Helms the other day and asked him, like, where are we at, right? And he said that there have been, hold on now, let me bring this up.
On the pitch for Mountain Heritage, number 1.
So there's been a lot of families using that coupon code. Total, again, on sales that have used our coupon code, it's been $1,569 of revenue. So you got to think that that's coming with a 10% discount as well. So glad that we were able to help generate some sales for CamWood, but also save our baseball families some money as well. If you're out there getting ready to play in a wood bat tournament this summer, or you play in a wood bat league in the fall, which is typical out here in Western North Carolina, you're going to want to get with CamWood. If you're a hitter, you're going to want to get a trainer. It doesn't matter if it's wood bat season or not. You're going to want a CamWood bat trainer. That's the training bat with the big old hump in the middle that was made famous by the late Tony Gwynn. And again, when you make that purchase, make sure you do it with that coupon, BBU WNC. Appreciate all the viewership tonight. If there's anybody out there that's got some interesting score drops for us, put them in there. We're trying to find a Smoky Mountain East Henderson score. It's a pop-up foul by Dula. So night's over for Chandler. Chandler works 4 2/3. Allows 9 runs on, 13 hits? Mm-hmm. He's about 80 to 83 on the evening with the velo. Struck out 4 on the evening. Nice job by Carroll to come in and retire the final batter to end this inning.
Well, I want to thank our travel sponsor, Weicker Realtors, Team Metro, helping Baseball University with the travel expenses we encountered throughout the spring, including gas, food, and in some cases, lodging. So we head to the sixth inning, brought to you by House of Power. House of Power over there in Mills River, Sheldon Reed.
Sheldon Reed's been doing some good work. Henderson County's needed someone like him for a while to open up a facility for training. He's got cages, mounds, plenty of room to work on speed and strength training, youth, high school, college level. I mean, the young man himself was a professional baseball player, played in the, I want to say, the Cubs and the Twins organization. That was after a collegiate career started Spartanburg Methodist, and then concluded at Clemson Tiger, the echelon of baseball. Make sure that when you are getting with Sheldon, you use that same coupon code BBUWNC for 25% off your first lesson. So thank you, House of Power. And the House of Power big swing of the game, well, you can probably say Tate Jensen. You could probably say Jacob Mole. Hey, let's have big swings of the game. 2 walks, 4 Ks, 13 hits, 9 runs, and 4 2/3 for Chandler. Was able to hold them for about 3 innings there when they had a 2-2 tie. Gives way to Caden Carroll, comes in, strikes out Dula. And here in the top of the 6th, it's going to be McCurry, Branson Fox, and Liam
Coming to the plate, number 10,
McMahon.
Levi McCurry.
Cougars running out of time. 2 more ABs to try to pick away at this 7-run lead.
Not guaranteed 2 ABs, that's for sure.
Nope. Well, Mountain Heritage is 6th and 7th inning.
Oh, yeah.
Say Griff Stevens been steady. What's up?
If
They got the 6 and they got the 7.
scores 3 here, that's ball game.
Oh, you're right. You're talking. Well, even in a championship game, I guess it's regular season. You're still going to play a 10-run rule. So down 7. They don't have to worry about that just yet.
Jennings said, we get you a cap.
I'll tell you what, Mitchell's field is absolutely gorgeous. We were up there, 2 weeks ago? We picked that game up on our way to Boone for Watauga.
Between
Mitchell was great hosts. Jennings Greens hosted us. They had a strong performance, but Freedom took that game. We were a little bummed out. We missed watching A.J. Mackey. That's their star player in that sophomore class. He was out with the mono. Happens. It's a common high school sickness to get, but he'll probably be back for playoffs.
Travis Wester giving us an update from Smokey. Smokey up on East Henderson, 15-4, top of the 3rd.
I mean, you hate to see that for East, who had a much stronger second half. But congratulations to Smokey if they can finish that W. That's probably the win that gets them into the playoffs. So hit by pitcher and McCurry bring Branson Fox up. I think Branson was at the plate in that Madison game that they walked off. I believe Branson bunted. Did he bunt it back to the pitcher in that final? You remember that? Was that a bunt in that final game? I can't remember. Or that final inning, I should say.
Look at this replay.
So it hits him and comes back and almost hits our camera.
Good thing it's on the
outside
today.
Yep.
That's a cool clip. What clip was that? That was about 2:45.
So Fox here down 0-1. Stevens from the stretch pulls back that bunt. 1-1 count. So umpire says 2-1 count. What do you got?
2-1.
All right, 2-1 count. Squares the bunt, pulls back 3-1. So the fake bunt strategy working here for Fox. So 3-1 count. See if he squares on this one. So Hunter reporting the score on Max Prep. Interesting. I didn't know you could do that.
Mm-hmm. If you're a qualified user and you don't
hack the Ashbrook
game. We're like, Ashbrook's winning.
Ashbrook's up 30-0 on North Gaston. What is happening? And then we found out that we were spammed. Yeah. Yes, he did. The umpire says so. Strike 2, 3-2 count.
Giving the scores to the people who want to know, who don't know that this is going on, if they're just checking in on Max Press. But how could you not, man?
So this
53 of y'all are currently watching, man. We appreciate that.
53 on their own devices. Heck, there could be a full house at Bubba's.
There's probably 153 at Bubba's right now. What's the fire marshal say the Max is? Let him in.
Swing, and Fox shoots one foul. So 3-2 pitch, 3-2 count will happen again. Say lights on here at Draughn.
There was one point there were 71 concurrent viewers. Wow, that's a season high.
I told you, them small school
baseball, man.
Yancey County, they support their local sports teams, and I'm sure we got a few Draughn viewers as well that couldn't make it. You know, with the 6 o'clock start, there could be some people that were late coming home from work, or maybe just relatives on the other side of the country, on their side of the state. Foul tip here by Fox stays alive.
Yeah, a long week for us, and disappointed to see it end, but kind of breath of relief.
Yep, so we know we at least have 3 days off. Trying to figure out if we're going to be doing playoffs. That is strike 3. Say did not check the swing. And again, the whole caveat with playoffs is, you know, our sponsors have only put in their revenue for the regular season. If there's a neighborhood out there that wants us to follow them through the playoffs, get with us ASAP. Help us find a few business sponsors. I'll give you an idea of the revenue that we're looking to bring in to make this happen. As far as the money and time needed to make a broadcast come to fruition. But this Tuesday, you know, was it every Tuesday and Friday for playoffs?
Tuesday, Friday, and then regional finals will be 3 games here. So I'd assume maybe Friday and 2 on Saturday, maybe? It's the 20th through the 24th, so no, that would be a full week.
But if there's any Western North Carolina high school teams out there that want us to follow them through the playoffs, reach out to us this weekend. Nice piece of hitting, but it's going to stay up. Oh, and they're going to throw back behind him for a double play. So McCurry reacted to the hard hit by Liam McMahon, but it was caught on the line, and a throw behind him, 9-3 on the putout, and that is the final out of the inning. Well. Bottom of the 6th, it's going to be Ballard, Lenorden, and Lang. Before we get to that, let's talk about our 6th inning sponsor again. Again, thank you to House of Power. Hop on their website, hophendersonville.com. So that's HOP for House of Power, hophendersonville.com, and learn a little bit more about what they have to offer as far as one-on-one lessons for hitting, pitching, and catching, their speed, strength, and conditioning programs, their facility memberships, and even just cage rentals for individuals and teams. Conveniently located in Mills River. Get with Coach soon. Again, Sheldon Reed, a former Clemson Tiger, former professional baseball player. And if you're going to be signing up for that first lesson, make sure you use that coupon code BBUWNC for a 25% discount on that first session. Again, we've already discussed our House of Power big swing of the game. Tate Jensen and Jacob Mole going Yakko Yardo. Say the Mole one was a bomb. The Jensen one was straightaway center, just out of the reach of Case and Jones. Caden Carroll back out for the 6th inning.
You see that PFP right here? PFP ready to field that ball, coming back for the backstop at us.
So Carroll came on at the end of the 5th to strike out Dula.
I'm disappointed. We never had a foul ball come our way. I was ready to catch one this year.
We don't have any workers' comp program, so I'm going to say I'm glad nothing came back.
How many months until I have health insurance?
Count down to your 26th birthday.
Yeah, I don't tell people how old I am.
Your 38th birthday.
Coming to the plate, number 12.
My Y equals MX plus B birthday. Do the math.
Well, tomorrow is my 12-year wedding anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call Amy tomorrow and remind her.
Fair enough. I mean, that's how we celebrate each year, is for getting it together.
At least you're not the only one forgetting it.
Well, that's why I married her. She's not a Hallmark wife. It's, you know, we got a good friendship, and a lot of it ain't on dates and times and anniversaries. We just keep going. We work hard on our homestead together. She supports the heck out of us. for the baseball side of things, and for all those baseball wives out there who are married to coaches, we know your pain. For years, my wife had to deal with the late nights, the long bus trips waiting for me to get home.
Heck,
and
probably getting home later
I was going to
now.
say, it's almost like it didn't change. I mean, as much as I've been away from home for the broadcast, it's still so much less stress. We joked about it in the beginning of the broadcast season, but these high school coaches, if they're anything like me, they go home after a game, and they're usually up till 3 or 4 in the morning. Like me and Coach King, after baseball games, we used to be on the phone till like the a.m. And then when you and I did the middle school games, you and I would be on the phone till the a.m. Surely your dad wouldn't be on it. Your dad was like, I just coach from 9 to 5, I go home.
Well, Coach King texted me last night. We're trying to figure out where they're going to fall in the 3A West playoffs, and he sent his over, and I sent mine over, and a few differences based on fall in certain conferences is they're just strike 3 down the line.
Caden Carroll dealing, so he's faced 2 batters since coming in the game as 2 Ks.
But yeah, we're trying to figure out all this stuff about playoffs. I think it's a good time to mention where these teams might fall on the 1A side of things. Looks like Draugh's going to solidify that 7th spot. Probably could move into the 6th seed depending on how the RPI works out. A couple teams above them, but that 13-8 record they'll finish with could solidify their spot.
I'll say their strength of schedule was really strong in the out of conference, but it's almost like the in conference strength of schedule hurt them. 2 against Rosman, 2 against Owen, 2 against Avery.
Well, it doesn't matter because they're going to be the 7th seed more
Mitchell
likely.
Is strong. I think Mitchell needs to be in the same. Ooh, hard ground ball. Clips Carroll. Goes to first for the play. So I think that's a 1-4-3 ground out. Let's watch the replay there, see if that hit him. But yeah, Mitchell, the last couple of years it's been just conversations on Mountain Heritage, Draughn, Madison, but Mitchell's in that 4 now. Like those 4 right there are going to be strong. Mitchell, in my opinion, I think they're the team to beat moving forward. If you looked at all the sophomores on that team, again, with Draughn leaving the conference, I have a feeling Mitchell will be the team to beat in the Western Highlands for the next couple of years.
Well, Mitchell falling in at the 24th ranked in RPI, Mountain Heritage 25th ranked, so they'll be seated right after each other more than likely unless Greystone Day or Bessemer City move up.
Madison will continue to be strong. Coach Tipton is an excellent coach. That team is always extremely well coached. Always in the middle of things.
Madison solidifying their spot, I think, is the 11th seed in 2A West. Probably going to face East Surrey, more than likely, depending on how many 2A West games will remain. I don't think many. So a good 4 teams being represented in the 4 teams in the Western Highlands 1A, 2A going to the playoffs. So
Avery is a 1A, right?
Avery is a 1A. The rest are the 1As besides Madison and Owen.
Strike 3, 81 mile. Or no, excuse me, strike 2. 81 mile per hour fastball there from Carroll.
The 1A looks interesting because you have a lot of these mountain schools: Murphy, Hayesville, Mitchell, Heritage, Swain, Draughn.
All 4.
Walk. But then you get further down east in the 1A Western region, and you've got the community schools, the charter schools, these schools that don't traditionally fall under the public realm, but they receive public funding, and they're part of the High School Athletic Association here. So
it's kind of the hack code for 1A baseball is the charter school because you can kind of recruit.
There's no kind of, you can.
Yep. Again, wish we would have gotten out to see a Lincoln Charter game. They're in our coverage.
2A.
Yep. I say we didn't cover their conference, but I put them into our coverage just because being in Lincoln County. Iredell was like the weird county this year. We covered a couple of them, West and North Iredell, but not South Iredell, Lake Norman, Mooresville, because they're in that Mecklenburg County conference, and I'm just not messing with Charlotte. It's its own animal. Like, we'll keep going down there for Providence Day or some of the other schools that call us for the exclusive features, but we're not necessarily going to cover it. Well, nice piece of hitting, but just foul. So Barker making a bid for the blue pit. Say Barker having a great game out of the 9-hole. He's been 2 for 3 with a ribby and a run. You know, watch this replay here.
I want to see if this ball was fair or not. I changed the camera before it landed, so.
That was pretty dang close down there.
Yeah. Kind of hard to see in 720p. We ain't got 1080 yet. Haven't figured that out.
Still waiting for that seven-figure investor to bring us the all the HD equipment, the mesh Wi-Fi network that the major league stadiums have. So strike 3. So Carroll has worked inning and a third scoreless, picked up 3 Ks.
Well, I want to thank our home team sponsor, Weicker Realtors Team Metro, sponsoring the Time of Baseball University, puts sports marketing this game to coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Draughn Wildcat prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame. And I want to thank our away team sponsor, Bubba's Good Eats. And everyone over there, Bubba, sponsoring the Time at Baseball University, puts towards marketing this game to coaches pregame and editing and posting highlights for the Mountain Heritage Cougar prospects with recruiting and scouting content on social media for the coaches postgame. As we head right here into the 7th inning. 7th inning is brought to you by State Farm. Chad McMahon. Chad McMahon State Farm is located. There's a proud sponsor of Baseball University. Just like your favorite baseball team, he's here to knock it out of the park with great insurance coverage. From home and auto to life and health, they've got the right coverage to protect what matters most to you. Give Chad McMahon State Farm a call or send him a text to 828-452-0567. And feel free to stop by his office in Waynesville, Haywood County, working together with you. They will make sure you have customized protection tailored to your individual needs with world-class local service. Chad McMahon State Farm, here to help life go right.
Well, it was a close ball game for about 3 innings, and then the hit parade started for Draughn. Those Wildcats did, in fact, go wild, scoring 7 runs between the 4th and 5th inning. Now we find ourselves in the top of the 7th. It's the 7-8-9 hitters, Shooter Fox, Lane Chandler, and Malachi Huskins. So, long road back from a 7-run deficit, and Griff Stevens has been rolling. Griff Stevens has not allowed a single. Okay. I'll say he's given up 2 runs, but looking through the box score, there's definitely something going down. So we'll see what happens here. Again, Hunter doing everything he can to silence me.
Dadgum.
That makes things kind of an implication now for the CamWood Bats player of the game. This comes to fruition, being that I know Tate Jensen was my first choice, but now that you brought this interesting fact that I'm not allowed to speak about, I don't know what to say. Say out number 1, Shooter Fox. So that's a ground out, 5-3.
Coming to the plate number 3, Lane Chandler.
Birds are going to sleep behind us as night falls with the, they got 5 lights on each of these outfield poles and then about 20 on the infield poles.
So Stevens having a great game here on the bump. He's collected, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ks in the game. So he's walked 1 in the game.
He's hit a couple guys, right?
So he's hit
2 or
3 batters, walked 1. He's given up 2 runs, 1 earned. Ground ball here to Mull. Charges, throws across. He's off the back safe. And that's a hit. I think it's a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, he was busting down the line. Has to come charge. Not off by much. I'm putting it down as a single because we gave them a single earlier in the game that was kind of 60-40. Let's see here.
The throw's bringing him
It
off.
is, but he had to also hustle because it was a slow roller, and that puts the pressure on. So I'm putting it down as a single. So Malachi Huskins up now. Malachi is 0 for 1, walked in the second inning. So pickoff attempt here. Yeah, I'm just saying if that play happens in the second inning and we don't have a no-no going, we'd probably call that a hit. So if you guys were kind of alluding to our hints there, Griff
there goes
had a
no
no-hitter. Runner goes, swing and a miss. That ball's going to get past Dula. And he ain't even going to stop. Safe. So stolen base and then goes to third on the wild pitch. All in sequence there. So steal because he was off on the play. The wild pitch allows him to get to third. But yeah, Griff Stevens had a no-hitter. Even though the 2 runs that come in, Deaton reached on an error in the first inning and ended up coming around to score on the double steal. So strike 3 there to Huskins. And then in the second inning, McMahon led off. He was hit by a pitch, made it to third base on the sac bunt, and then came in on the sac fly. So earned run there. So 2 runs, 1 earned, only 1 hit. The infield hit there by Chandler. And Carroll is going to line that ball right into the glove of the third baseman. And the Western Highlands Championship belongs to the Draughn Wildcats. Wow, oh wow, what an evening of baseball. So Griff Stevens goes the distance, 7 innings pitched, gives up the 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned, strikes out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ks, walks. Let's see. How many walks did we say? I think it was just the 1 walk, but 3 hit by pitch, hit batters. So great job by Stevens to earn the win. Going through the box scores real quick. Well, I was going to say, let's go ahead and get into our 7th inning sponsor real quick. Give Chad McMahon his due diligence.
Yeah, I want to thank Chad McMahon being 7th inning sponsor and all of our inning sponsors all year long. Appreciate y'all so much. There's Chad's information on your screen as we head into the Meineke postgame. Meineke is a pregame and postgame sponsor for Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, Western North Carolina Scout Streaming Series. With numerous locations in the Western North Carolina region, there's no better spot to get your vehicle seen and or serviced. Whether it's an oil change, brakes, mufflers, tires, wheels, AC, heat, you name it. Meineke is doing car care right in Western North Carolina. Well,
oh boy.
The Wildcats moved 13-8 on the year, finished 11-1 in the Western Highlands, and win the Western Highlands Conference. Mountain Heritage falls to 9-11 on the year, 9-3 in conference. Both teams should be making the playoffs, so big congratulations to the Cougars on a great year. But really big congratulations to the Draughn Wildcats on being crowned Western Highlands 22-8 conference champs.
Oh, Lordy. So we'll get you some. Are we in the Meineke? We get in the Meineke? We're good? Okay. So going through the box scores here. Almost done tallying. All right, so first drone. Hats off to Griff Stevens. We already mentioned it. Complete game, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 3 hit by pitch. Just that 1 hit you saw there that maybe there's some controversy on that slow roller. I say it's a hit. Griff also is 1 for 3 with that RBI double. Chase Yamber, 1 for 2 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored. Tate Jensen, 3 for 3 with the dinger, 4 ribbies, 2 runs and a hit by pitch. Jacob Mole, 2 for 4 with the solo ding dong and a 2 runs scored. Nolan Ballard, 3 for 4 with a ribby. And Tyler Lang, 1 for 3 at the run. Caden Barker, 2 for 4 at the ribby and a run. Looking at the final score, it looks like Draughn put it in as a no-hitter, but whatever. There's controversy. For your Mountain Heritage Cougars, again, a run scored by Deaton, 0 for 3 with a run and a stolen base. Caden Carroll reached base on the hit by pitch, came in to pitch that final inning this final inning and a third, struck out 3, giving up no hits, no runs, and 1 walk. Chandler, low 80s, got touched up a little bit, 4 2/3, 9 runs, 13 hits, 4 Ks, 2 walks. Again, 80-83. Carroll was 80-82. Chandler, I gave him the hit on the slow roller, so he is technically 1 for 1 with a single sac fly RBI, and he was hit by a pitch. And honestly, that's about it from the box scores. Yeah. Well, let's get into that CamWood Bats Player of the Game spot. It's time to announce CamWood Bats Player of the Game. But before we do, let's thank that headline sponsor. CamWood Bats, located in Haywood County, Western North Carolina, but serving baseball and softball players all across the nation. Game bats, trainers, tees, tutorials, and more available for purchase at CamWoodBats.com. So remember, as part of that partnership, use the coupon code BBUWNC for a 10% discount on all purchases through the website. Well, I am going to go ahead and decide that Tate Jensen is our CamWood Bats Player of the Game. 3 for 3, home run, 4 RBIs, 2 runs, 1 hit by pitch. Some may say it should be Griff Stevens. I thought he did miraculous.
They can split it.
I would say y'all can cut the bat in half if you want. It truly was a team win. But Jensen with the big swings, the RBIs, played a great center field. Heck of a day. So a long week of baseball comes to conclusion with our Western Highlands Championship for Draughn Wildcats.
Again, guys, please, if you want to help support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge, visit our Patreon at www.patreon.com/BB University WNC. The more financial support Baseball University of the Blue Ridge can earn, the more coverage of West North Carolina baseball we can bring you in the College Tour Series, the High School Scout Streaming Series, American Legion Post 70 coverage, weekly media content, highlight films, playoff projections, and more. Choose which series right for you at www.patreon.com/BB University WNC. And stay connected to us across all the platforms. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on X and Instagram. And check out the website on your screen. Well, that's it for this rendition of Baseball University of the Blue Ridge's Western North Carolina Scout and Streaming Series. Thank you again all season long to our sponsors, Meineke, Bloom Patch Farms, Hail Tax Solutions, American Legion Post 70, Hoyne Solutions and Grading, Nova Pitching Performance, House of Power, Chad McMahon State Farm Insurance, and of course CamWood Bats, as well as our home and away and travel team sponsors, Weichert Realtors, Team Metro, and Bubba's Good Eats tonight. Thank you again for tuning in tonight and all season long. It's been a pleasure to bring you Western North Carolina high school baseball. Stay tuned for our next broadcast, hopefully on Tuesday, to see where North Henderson ends up in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll be able to get that set up at the away institution.
I was going to say, we promised our first round game to North, but we got to get with them and see if they can help us get some sponsors together. So, again, every single round of the playoffs is up for grabs if there's a community that wants to bring us out. So give us a holler, and we'll figure out what revenues for sponsors have to be, and we'll continue bringing you this great service. And, again, it's Friday night, so I know a lot of you college coaches are probably watching this on the replay, but, man, it's worth taking a look. We'll see you next time.